evening. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of the Opening Kick. As you can see, me and my man Smoke have a special guest. Our guy down below us, the only Tyler Siskey, back with us, a friend of the program. How you doing, good sir?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
Doing well. We're going to get it going tonight. We got a jam-packed show. Smoke, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm always doing good when I can do business with Siskey. That's all.
Okay. I'm representing Alabama A&M. We got the John Deere Classic. I see Quick You getting represented.
That's right.
I would not build a personnel department without Quick You, and he knows it.
Look at my guy.
It ain't no pub. This is straight knowledge and business, straight facts.
Yeah, it's been going really well. We actually did a partnership about 2 weeks ago with a very large AI company that's worth $360 billion. So good day for Quick You. Let's go. But they're going to use Quick You to bring artificial intelligence inside of college athletics. Ooh. So we got a bunch of projects that we are working on. We're going to beta test them with probably 6 or 7 of our clients. I know 6, maybe 7 of our clients this fall, and then rock and roll for January.
I got the 7th guy. I got the 7th school for you. We'll talk offline.
All right. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Can you talk about what kind of AI, Tyler, before we get right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is it's I guess from a Cliff Notes version, it's going to be more of type of a questionnaire based deal that's going to allow universities to find the best fits for their program and what they're looking for in players. It's going to be completely different. What question gets asked next is going to based on how the question before was answered. And find the right fit. We're going to do some logistics stuff where you can. This is what Smoke's going to like. You can put these are our players. This is my hot board, and tell it how many days you're going on the road, and it's going to make a calendar for you instantly based on the easiest way to see all of them logistically. It'll build your calendars for you. That's a 6-week project for GMs, and it'll do it instantly. One thing I'm excited about, we've added a roster management and portal section that's going to help tremendously in that when it comes to tracking players, value for players. And then probably one of the coolest things I'm excited about is we will eventually get to, hey, we like, I like this outside backer. He's 6'3.5". He's 245. He's got 33.5-inch arms. This is his L drill shuttle. Whatever. And if you give that guy a certain grade, it's almost like an Amazon package. It's going to find other guys inside of our system that fit that criteria that you haven't evaluated yet. And it's going to allow you to build your pool faster inside of a recruiting department.
So it's just another way of just compiling all of the info and queries that most personnel guys have tried to do instead of taking 3 weeks and 300 people, and you know how that is, getting all that information. You can one-stop shopping and spit out the information like that. I love the fact that the comparables.
Yeah.
In terms of, because what happens a lot, Pettey, and Siskey knows this a ton, is you'll say this one guy is worth $500,000, and the coach will come in there, or someone out of your personnel department will come in there and they'll stand on the table and start drumming down their hands, said, this is the best guy. Then, hold on, coach. There is 15 other guys that actually hit the same matrix, same height, weight, speed, production, but the value's only $100,000. They just don't have the name, the logo on their chest, and the big market that they're in.
That's going to be really big as we get. That's why it's going to be hopefully a January launch on that, because hopefully by then I can't imagine. I mean, I'm tired of it. Every other day we feel like we got a new rules and regulations. But if this rev share and College Sports Commission thing sticks, the days of school, Alabama will have to adjust. The days of going out and signing 6, 7, 5 stars, 14 4-stars, those are going to be long gone.
Yeah, you're going to have to even it out.
You don't have the money. I mean, it's like, if there was
That's what's going to the importance on GMs and using systems like yours, Siskey. I mean, we went right into the deep end with that quick you ad. But seriously, that's kind of the future of college football is GMs, and they don't have the time, and you're looking at resources. They're going to have to use systems, which is kind of crazy. It's almost what you see in NCAA PlayStation football. I don't know if that kind of gave, but I mean, you can kind of do that to a small degree when searching for certain players. But again, but you couldn't do that at a large scale with real prospects in the real world. And that's, again, it seems like where we're headed. That's going to
Well, you know what, Pettey, you can. And that's what Siskey and I offline, we always talk about that because like his system is basically what trial and error and troubleshooted his entire life in terms of in the personnel business of just coming up with just one system that does not give you the headaches of properly planning out a coach on the road for 6 weeks. Making sure that when you send out a query for a particular type of player, you have other players that are comparable to them so you can compare and contrast and have a realistic conversation, not a one-sided conversation about this one guy that's a 5-star, 6-star. No, there's other players out there. And even with the conversation that we're about to have about schools of harboring 5 5-stars, 18 4-stars, those days are long gone. You're going to see schools having some 5-stars that pop up, a la Felix Ojo at Texas Tech. Like a few years ago, that wouldn't have happened. 10 years ago, no shot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting once I guess we can talk about this later. Once everybody starts playing by the same rules. I mean,
because that's kind of what everybody wanted parity, and they got it, but in the wackiest damn way possible. And this ain't the way we wanted the parity. But it seems like if they could ever get this going, there might actually be parity in the right way, where you're having to almost, and again, there's NFL GM models where you're having to allocate money to certain players and positions, but still, it's going to level the playing field greatly. Right?
Yeah, it will. If they, and again, it's if and when everybody starts playing by the same rules. Right now, you got guys that are using rev share and NIL because they think that they're protected by state laws, right? And that's why now you got Trump trying to step in and say he's going to sign an executive order. I'm just at this point in time, I'm almost to the point, and I do it every day for a living. But I'm almost to the point where I'm like, hey, wake me up when it's over. Like, I don't even care. Like, I really don't. I know I should. I really, at this point in time, I don't even care what the rules are, but just can we all play or at least act like we're going to play by the same rules? Because you got coaches, and look, right, wrong, or indifferent, you're going to have coaches, and you got coaches, and right now, today, you got coaches. It's July, and there's nothing else to bitch about. But you got coaches and fan bases that are getting negative momentum going into the season on things that's out of their control. It's some lawyer in the university that's telling them what they got to do. Like people don't know that university lawyers are controlling recruiting right now. People don't know that. Like, it's somebody that's never broken a huddle a day in their life. It's controlling recruiting right now.
Who's getting the money?
Yeah,
this guy can't sign off on this contract today because we haven't approved it.
Yeah, so we can't do that yet because August 1st is not here. We can't do that, or we can do it. We're protected by I feel comfortable defending this because we got our state law. You got schools in the same state that are going by different rules because the university attorneys see it different than the other university attorney. It's freaking attorneys are running recruiting right now.
And Siskey, it's not like they're on coaching or personnel time clocks.
No, they don't even care.
They're on 9 to 5 schedule, so when they leave at 5 o'clock and you're trying to get that, they're done.
We see you 8 in the morning, actually 9.
And you're like, I got to get an answer right now. Nah.
I'm so I came across this last week. I don't know if y'all saw or not. I came across this last week, and there was some stuff in the House settlement that I was like, all right. So do you remember last week when the college sport? I know you didn't mean it. Well, I'm sorry, Pettey, to hijack this part, but
no. I was about to tell people at some point I'm gonna say, well, we started this one right off in the deep end. We're gonna just start it, but hey, this is great. Good one.
The crazy thing is, this is our normal. Like, I'll pick the phone up. And I'll call, and this is our normal conversation that we have
every day.
Every day.
So like you sit here, like last week, the College Sports Commission I think it was last Monday, they issued a memo to all the universities saying, hey, this is why we're not approving the NIL Go payments, blah, 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 blah. On Tuesday, the plaintiff's attorneys for the House settlement said that's not how it's supposed to go. You can't exclude the NIL, blah, 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 blah. So then on Wednesday, they were going to come across and, hey, try to work this deal out. And I'm sitting here going, the whole time I'm going like, wait a minute. This House settlement was filed in June of 2020, okay? It was filed in June of 2020. Almost 5 years to the day it took to get a settlement, not a trial, a settlement. The plaintiff's attorneys knew the entire time about the Collegiate Sports Commission. This is going to be the new enforcement arm. This wasn't a surprise to them. Yet they waited 2 weeks afterwards to, hey, we're going to put this back to the court magistrate, the third-party arbiter. We're going to go back through court again. I'm going like, wait a minute. Why in the hell are we doing that now? Like, you knew this was coming. Like, why are we doing it now? Well, let me tell you what I started looking. Do you know how much the attorneys are getting paid for this court case, by the way?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think people understand that.
All right, let me
love going to court.
Millions.
So I saw a thing that said, hey, they got to prove they're going to make $20 million for this case. And I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense. And I started looking dug a little bit deeper. You know, that was the surface. I dug just a little bit deeper. Do you know that the attorneys in this case are getting 20% of all back pay? They're getting $480 million in back pay. And why do they? Why else are they still involved, and why do they want to keep going forward? They're getting 1% of all rev share. So let's throw in another $250 million. They're fixing to get $750 million. They're
three quarters of the way to $1 billion.
The attorneys are going to make more money than anybody.
So you're saying it's going on a little bit longer just so they don't get paid more.
Bill them hours.
Fired SEC football coach and attorney should have gone a whole different route.
Brother, it's
well, and what's we say that it's even, but teams are doing both. But football's never been even. There's always been people that skirted the rules, regardless of whatever the rules were at the time. I mean, there's always been programs that have done it to the nth degree.
All right, allegedly. All right, let's talk. Let's have an alleged conversation. Here's the difference, though. Allegedly, back in the day, the difference between the last place team in your league and the first place team was tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Now the difference between the last place team and the first place team is tens of millions of dollars. That's
so where Mississippi State is and Texas is. You're talking.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's Mississippi State. It could be somebody else. But I'm saying you're talking about the difference between $5 to $7 million and $40-50 million.
Right.
I mean, it's drastic. So the point, like everybody says, oh, well, they used to do that. Oh, sure. Okay. But the difference between, $500,000 and $750,000 isn't a big deal. The difference between $5 to $7 million and $40-50 million is a big deal.
Right.
Man, hell of a start. Well, guys, that's Tyler Siskey. Tyler Siskey. I got my damn tongue tied. He talked so much.
You drinking already?
Just in.
Yeah, he on something that we're not on. I'm on straight water. And
Siskey just dropped as much knowledge on the shows we've had in all summer months, man. With that's good stuff, Tyler. Now to important stuff. Deion talking about uniforms. No. Look, we got Tyler. We got my man Smoke. If you're in the chat is hopping tough as nails. Yes, I know who Emory Ballard is. He was one of the greatest coaches in Mississippi State history. Glad you're here with us tonight. Get those questions in for our man Siskey and Smoke. Tough as nails. Will Sport got our sponsor, Jimmy Clay, up in there. John Christopher Jackson says, hey, want to give y'all both a big roll tide. I never get to holler when you're live. And then he said he saw me on the strip one night and we had some drinks with some fine ladies. I'll take your word for it. If you say so, buddy.
Hey, man.
I was on the strip a lot, and maybe I had enough to drink. I was, all right. I believe Crimson Yo, so high schools will have to input their players' stats and measurables. So, hey, that's a question for Siskey. So all high schools will have to input their player stats and measurables. I doubt they'll rely on that, right?
Yeah, I get my information independent of that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not reliable. I mean, it's not accurate.
Bevo's bodyguard, big Texas fan. He's already fired up. He said Texas has nothing to prove. I guess it's because I had to change stuff. I have Texas on the cover with Arch. I don't know. They might not have anything to prove, but you can't deny the hype train that has surrounded the kid with the last name of Manning.
Bevo, let me ask you a question. I know you're gonna get back in the chat.
Yeah, when
was the last time Bevo Texas won a national championship?
Oh,
so you do have something to prove, and it's nothing about them being good or bad, but if you haven't won a national championship, what are we talking about? So you got something to prove. There's nothing wrong with that. Good program, good coach.
Smoke throwing fire at you already, Bevo. We're going to get to that. Like I said, we got several topics. Deion's talking uniforms, which speaks to the old man yells at cloud in my heart. Smoke may disagree. I think Tyler actually has an opinion that maybe doesn't even give a shit. Then we're going to talk about some teams, programs that have a lot to prove. Oh, we lost Tyler.
He'll jump back on.
Then I'm going to put Smoke and Tyler on the hot seat. Oh, did he have to hop out?
Yeah, he's jumping right back in.
All right, I got you. Texas already on top. Man, we'll see. They on top, but you got to stay there, buddy. All right, when Tyler comes back, like I said, we got a jam-packed show. Hit that like and subscribe. While he's out, let's give a little bit of love to the sponsor, realrockstone.com, and then the one that Smoke's got in his hand that's in the chat with us tonight. If you've ever dreamed of having that beautiful natural stone in or around your home, well, wait no longer. Go to realrockstone.com. That is Lamstone Company, located in Aniana, Alabama, one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. And if you tell them we sent you using the promo code, the Bama Standard, you'll receive 10% off your first purchase or your purchase of stone. So check them out. He said he'd be back. That's Tyler. So check them out after the show, of course, and get that discount off that stone you've always dreamed of having around your home. Also, as my man Smoke was showing right there in the chat tonight, Will Sports, I'm going to get it right out of the gate. Title towel. The football season's upon us, guys. And if you are headed to Bryant-Denny Stadium this year, don't go empty-handed. Check out one of the greatest sponsors in all the land. That's willsports.com and get your title towel. Tell them the promo code standard and receive 20% off your purchase of the towel. And don't go to Bryant-Denny empty-handed. Have that thing in hand swinging. You know September is going to be hot, so you'll need it for the sweat. Check them out today. Give them some love. Woo! Everybody, Vivo, we're going to get to that, buddy. We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to see if I think
Bevo, we missed you. We're
gonna talk a little Texas.
Well, we'll get you. We'll get to your Texas team. Did Texas win the SEC championship yet?
I don't. We're one in, and I think Georgia's still the king. Smoke.
Yeah, they won it. Texas won the championship last year, right?
That's right.
No, they didn't.
No.
Georgia did. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Georgia's king.
First place losers.
Don't get Bebo started. I think Siskey, first of all, hit that like and subscribe. If you're over on Twitter X, come over. We got tons of Bama Standard content coming to you this week. Man, I'm tongue-tied. I must be in the sauce as well with Siskey tonight. But like I said, hit that like and subscribe. Maybe Siskey dropped out because we talked serious stuff, and now we're about to talk uniforms reps. Here we go. Look, I've been noticing it. Man, did they get you? The Twitter?
I have no idea what happened.
Bevo got you, bro. Bevo's tied into the net, bro. He got you. He got a hold of your Wi-Fi. You're not cheering on Texas. You're not saying hook 'em, so don't worry about it.
Dude, I'm sitting here going, I hit the old unplug, plug it back in thing. My internet, for whatever reason, my computer got everything streaming. Everything's good. So whatever, we're back.
Is it that Oxford 56K?
No, bro. We got. This is like Oxford's like it's like little oasis. You got everything here. So if you go 5 minutes out of town, you got sundials and shits. But here you actually got stuff.
All right, Texas, handle them dogs talk. We got some Georgia. We got some Go Big Orange, Jason Calvert, little Tennessee in the chat. We're gonna get to you guys. But man, Deion, like I said, and I talked to Smoke about this and kind of laughed at his reaction. So maybe I am the old man, but I've noticed the last couple of years, I'm shocked nobody said anything before, that players are now basically wearing the undershorts that just wear their thigh pads and their knees are hanging out. Maybe I needed knee pads. Maybe I was slow and special, or I was on the bench enough where I needed them for protection when I was kneeling down watching the game, for cushion on the knee. But Deion says, let's do something about the uniforms via pro football talk. We got guys in biker shorts. That makes me sick because I'm a football guy. I played this game at a high level and have so much respect for this game. How can we allow guys out there in biker shorts, no knee pads, no nothing, literally pants up under their thighs, and that's cool? I think there should be like a fine implement for stuff like that, and let's have more respect for this tremendous game. Damn right, prime time. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, we need more respect for this game, but I'm just a fan. Siskey, you were on the sidelines, even, you were up in the box with glasses sometimes. Smoke, you played, you coached. Y'all have the same feelings as Deion? Or am I the only one that's noticed that these dudes are running around in shorts?
Listen, I didn't wear any thigh pads or knee pads when I played either. Maybe Deion did, but I'm not going to find kids that don't have any money. Like, what you got to tell me the rules. There's no rules. And last time I checked, whenever we had uniform issues, our head coach checked it. Like, police your own players. That's all you have to do. Police your own. That's it.
Like, if you got a problem, like I've been on staffs that, hey, tuck your shirt in, no earrings on the field. No, coach's thing was no hair below the, above, where it covers your name, whatever it is, right? That's on the coach. And usually that's not even a dress thing. It's a discipline thing just to make you do something every day, kind of deal. It has nothing to do with, we don't like our shirt tails out. It's a discipline thing.
Right.
How many knee, I mean, just out of curiosity, Petty, how many knee injuries have you seen that you go, by God, if that guy would have had a knee pad on, that ACL wouldn't have popped?
Well, that's when you asked that question. That's why I brought up the only time I really remember the knee pad being useful was at practice when you were on the sideline and you were knelt down and had that knee protection from the ground. I don't remember.
I guess my theory is, and kind of the way I like to coach back in the day, 100 years ago, and maybe this is old school, I don't know, is I coached very hard. Okay. And when you coach hard, you can't nitpick because you need to be able to get your message across to your players. And if I'm bitching about your knee pad, that stuff goes in one ear out the other, and then it creates like a resentment, right? So for me, I much rather complain about the way you came out of the top of that route or how you decided to get off the ball, as opposed to, if you had that thigh pad or knee pad, I don't care. I didn't like wearing them. I got away with as little as we could. We used to take the giant thigh pads back when we played. We would
it was like RoboCop back in our days.
We would take the plastic thing out of the middle of them and make that your thigh pad, and then we would take an old hip pad, the big ones, and we'd cut the
circle out, put it on your knees,
knee pad.
Yeah,
we didn't have them back then either, but if you play football at a high level. And I got to practice at a high level. I definitely didn't play it. I got to practice at a high level. I mean, like you should be a good enough athlete to stay off the ground. And like, when you get tackled, you don't go like, oh my goodness, my thigh. I don't know. You kind of get hardened to it a little bit. I'll go a step further, and I'm definitely hated on when I say this. I don't like the targeting rule. I think they should do away with targeting.
I have a reason for this, but I want to hear yours. Mine's probably much more.
Because my players, I'm a receivers guy, and I don't like it. Because if they go high on my guy, if I lose him, I'm going to lose him for a week with a concussion. Now they're going low, and I'm losing them for the whole damn year with a knee injury or whatever, a lower leg injury. As a receiver, and that's what that was the whole point of his protection. Hell, you take away a receiver's legs. Now you're messing with his career. I don't care what position you play and I really don't care about what targeting rule they put in. If you play this game long enough, you're going to get concussions. Yeah. Okay. And so the fact I don't believe in going low on receivers and things like that.
Siskey, the only thing that I would say about the targeting rule, I don't like when defenders launch themselves into the receiver. But if you're talking about launching and hitting with the crown of your helmet, yeah. But hitting anything shoulders up, I think we got to look at that a little bit different, because it's hard coaching splitting the receiver. Because if I hit you too low and you duck and I duck, that means I'm launching with my helmet. If I teach you now go and cut his knees out, like, that's an ACL. So most receivers will tell you, like you said, bro, hit me up high. I don't care. But as a defender, like, I don't want to get tossed out in the game and miss half of next week.
Yeah. So I think we've kind of made it to where exactly what you're saying, but like, you don't want, I don't know. I didn't go, like, I never coached in the game or played the game, was like worried about getting a concussion. I guess the targeting rule, my point, the targeting rule hasn't really taken away the whole point. I mean, you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. But what it has done is it's added to the lower body injuries.
Yeah,
and you're still going to get them. You know what I mean? Like, you can play long enough.
And there needs to be a hand raise guy. Like, these kids that get the targeting in the second half of a bowl game or something, and they're suspended for the first half, it carries over the damn summer. That may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I hate to be rudimentary and shoot me down on this, guys, because again, this is from a full fan perspective that played through the high school level and is dumb enough and broken down enough from it. Y'all were much higher. But look, football is our modern gladiators. Gladiators, I feel like that there's a reason there's hundreds of thousands of people that fill the stands, is because they do things that are extraordinary. And those are the big hits that you used to see, that you grew to love. And then you kind of take it away and it almost turns a flag football. It changes the way of the game. Look, gladiators used to get eaten by tigers at the end of the deal. And that's why you filled up a stadium, though. We fill up a stadium with 100,000 because you're wanting to see some shit. And I remember they did a special on the whole concussion thing, and to a man at the end when they were asking guys, but yeah, I'd still go play because I knew what I was putting on the damn line. Like,
well, that's the thing, is you know what you signed up for. You know what I mean? Like everybody talks about concussions, right? There are much worse injuries out there than a concussion. And you know what you're signing up for when you go out there, and what you risk. And I think a spinal injury is obviously much worse than a concussion. And like, that's why, like, the crown of the helmet and things like cool, because it's not about the concussion part as much as it is about the spinal injury for me, right?
Correct. Yes.
The whole deal is it's like and probably really what I'm talking about is like the sliding, the glancing blow up top and things like that. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, because that means you're not hitting me low. Don't flag that. Now, if you launch and crowd, okay, cool. Yeah. But we've kind of anything.
Siskey, we've made the game of going across the middle not a badge of honor anymore, because you remember back in our day, going across the middle. Like, you were that guy catching the ball in the middle of the field. He's tough. Now everybody goes in there because nothing's going to happen. Yeah, nothing's going to happen to you. You're fine.
You would be scared to death. I spent a lot of time in the slot. You'd be scared to death running tube route. We used to call them tube routes, benders. Okay, You'd be scared to death, because back in those days, now everybody's kind of retired the coverage a little bit. But brother, I sit there and go, here we go. You got like a little midget like me, I'm going to run a bender, and all of a sudden this team is a Tampa 2 team, and that mic is dropping there. And brother, when I went in and ran a bender with a mic there, that's a physics problem, and that I wasn't going to win. And so, like, every time we play a Tampa 2 team, I knew coach was going to come in there with some kind of bender. I was like, just like, oh, here we go. Like, you just know it's coming, because you'd have to wrap the wheel or wrap the Sam. You knew the mic was going to be there.
But Siskey, the beauty behind it is you learn how to take a hit. Like, you knew when I catch this ball, I'm getting into a vice. So I'm going to catch it and I'm going to get down, or I'm going to get it and I'm going to split them, just because you knew impact's coming. Now you have players going and running across the middle like they don't have a clue what's going on. Like, and then you have quarterbacks. I'm going to let you finish. You have quarterbacks that aren't throwing the ball to the receiver to sit the receiver down or throw the receiver away from the blow up. Like, there's so many times that bad quarterbacks set their receivers up for the targeting penalty, because there's nowhere else the defender can go but through your guy. But if you would have sat him down, throw it to his back, hip him, he would have caught the ball, went down, and the defender would have went over his head. Catch, first down, move the sticks. No,
yeah, you know where everybody's at. The thing with me is like, and the first time I heard it, we had Emmitt Smith came and spoke to us when I was at Auburn, and he said the way he made it, because I didn't ask it, somebody else did. I asked him how did he make it so long in the NFL, and he said that he learned how to avoid the big hit.
Yes.
And he described and so that really stuck with me. And as a smaller guy playing, I learned a lot from that one, because, you got to know, and I would tell, and I've coached small guys all my career, across different schools. And I'd tell them and be like, hey, that's really heroic of you. I was like, but you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And so it's kind of like, it's like golf a little bit. If you watch the PGA Tour, okay, every down is Thursday. Okay. You can't win the tournament on Thursday, but you can sure as hell lose it.
Right.
And there's a time in a football game where, hey, it's time to go and there's time to not. And not saying you pass things off, but you got to know when to fold them too. You got to get it and get down or avoid the big hit. And you can't take every ball to the house. You won't stay healthy.
You know what, Siskey, I spent a lot of time talking to Shady, and I became really close when he was in Buffalo. Sean McCoy. And everyone used to be like, oh, yeah, he's not tough. He's not. It's like, no. Shady will tell you in a heartbeat. My style is different. I want to play for a long time. I don't need to run a guy over in the first quarter to get a medal or try to run through 5 guys to get 2 yards. Like, no. I'm going to make 2 miss. I'm going to slide down. I'm going to run through how I need to run through. But I'm not walking away from the game with a ton of headaches. That's not the reason why we play it. Now, if it's the Super Bowl, 4th and 1, and you got to go through them and go get it. But every play, like you just said, it ain't the Super Bowl, and it's not a 4th down or 3rd down in one play.
I did a study. I had a receiver at Arkansas State named Dwayne Frampton. And we played, I don't remember who we were playing. It was kind of middle of the year. We were playing a team. He had maybe Indiana or something like that. He had 12 catches for 65 yards. And everything was he was catching, going lateral, trying to make people miss, and he's just getting blown up, And so the next week we played, I think we were on ESPN. We played Middle Tennessee or somebody like that the next week. And I made a rule, and I used an old basketball term, right? I said, every time you catch it, I want you to drop step and blow it up. And you're allowed to make 1 cut, and it has to be on the secondary. And when you make that cut, I said, because, Framp was extremely quick, but he wasn't fast. I said, the probability of you house calling something is slim to none. Okay. I said, so do this. And so I made him drop step. And what we started doing is when you made that 1 cut, if I'm coming up on a safety, we're going whichever side I cut to. If I cut to his left, instead of trying to miss him, I'm going to try to brush shoulders with him.
Right.
Okay? And so when I did that, he's still going to make the tackle, but it's a glancing blow. And he stayed healthy. He ended up with 100 and something catches for the year, and really had a great year after catch, because what you find out, that next game he caught 12 balls for 143, but nothing different. Him just drop stepping and going, right? So I think a lot of times people try to be heroes, run people over, and end up paying a price for it.
And the crazy thing is, you don't have to have a blow up on every single play. The name of football is avoid, score, get the guy down. Even as a tackler, I don't want to go in there and try to blow everything up. It's called tackle football. I just got to get you down to the ground so you don't get extra yards. Now, if my eyes don't see your eyes and you don't see me, yeah, I'm gonna come in my hardest blow at 190, 200 pounds and give it to you. But if you're looking at me and I'm looking at you and our eyes make 4, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna tackle you, get you to the ground, so I can play a little bit longer in the game. I don't need to go in there and have a daggone blow up every time, man. But again, Siskey, we're not the smart ones, but we're just the older men that can still think.
Wisdom.
There you go.
Speaking of older men, I think that the moral of the story is, let's go back to knocking people's ass out like your boy Trey Elston used to, coming across the middle. Smoke. I don't think he couldn't play in today's game. Trey would die.
Well, he was at the beginning of the targeting rule, and we lost him every week.
Every week he was the poster child for it.
Hey, Pettey,
he's a stud, though. I love him.
Hey, Pettey and Siskey, I signed Trey Elston in Buffalo and had him.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Alabama boy, Trey Elston.
A hometown Calhoun County guy.
Yeah. Oxford, Alabama.
Oxford,
Alabama boy. Yeah.
That's where I'm born and raised.
And
I
that's
had Trey over the house a couple. My mom cooked and invited Trey over the house a couple of times. Him and Reggie Ragland and Sammy Watkins came over one time in the summertime.
Trey Elton, I'll say this, had Reuben Foster's mindset in a DB's body. He was ready to kill. He didn't see anybody he didn't think he could kill.
Trey will knock your block off in a heartbeat. Good.
So let's go back to that. And I'm apparently an old man. I would rather see the RoboCop knee pads and stuff, but let the kids.
Never happen.
Kids. With that said, let's move on, man. Every year there comes a new batch of pressures in this game when there's this much money involved. And you see certain teams that have gone all in on the transfer portal and winning this year. Programs like Oklahoma, Auburn, Miami, Texas Tech is doing it a different way. And you got programs where fans are kind of getting impatient. Florida State, Florida, even out there at the USC and LA, maybe they're ready for Lincoln Riley to do something. And then you got just the fans that are of programs that are batshit crazy. That's Alabama, LSU, Tennessee. They want titles every year, and every year, there's a new hot seat. But, man, or is it a single player? I don't think there's been a year where we've seen – it's been a long time since one player has had the hype of the kid that's about to start taking snaps out in Austin, Texas. He's got the name, the pedigree that everybody, I think, expects to do it. But, I mean, are the expectations on him? And, look, DJ Lagway, this kid's getting props. Lenore Sellers, there's a lot of players out there. So, guys – and maybe I'm missing something. Siskey, I know with Quickie, you're tied to programs across the country. Smoke, you're as connected as anybody out there with guys like you. We were talking about the Miami wide receivers today. Am I missing somebody in this, man? Or who is it? Who's got the most pressure? I'm going to start, Smoke, I'll start with you. Who's got the most pressure going into this season? It can be a program. It can be a coach. It can be a player.
You know what? I'm like this. And maybe I'm just playing politician, but when you have all this money tied up into players, coaches, and overall program, I think the pressure's on everybody. If you're a P4 level school to get into the playoffs. And when you get into the playoff, it's your opportunity now to run the table. Like 20 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when everyone was on scholarship and a few guys were getting a couple of dollars, just because they were going to school, you can say, well, the pressure's on this guy. Or when you had that one coach that was making $7-8 million a year, you can say, wow, the pressure's on them. But now you have a cluster of coaches that are making double digits every single year. You have a cluster of programs that have $20-30 million that's invested into their program. So if you are one of those programs in the P4 level and you're in the SEC or Big Ten, the pressure's on you to perform. And if you don't, Siskey and I spoke about this, there's not the get out of jail free card anymore of just saying, we're going to fire you, bring somebody in new. That ain't happening because the buyouts are more expensive than firing a guy. You might as well just keep him, keep the money, get better players, and help that coach win because you hired him for a reason. It's not like you just figured out that I can't coach now once you got to your school. He just needs more more resources and time to actually get the job done. Patience is the key. You got to play it out.
Well, Smoke, hold on. Before you go, Tyler, that was absolutely a political answer. Damn it, Smoke. You said everybody, but you did make a point that I want that you and Tyler addressed that I think we may be seeing a shift back to coaches getting a little more leeway. But Smoke, I'm going to disagree and then turn this over to Tyler a little bit because you saw a program like Ole Miss go all in last year, not make the playoffs, and the heat's not on Kiffin. He would have to do something drastic. It's still different at Ole Miss than it is a place like LSU or Alabama. I mean, or maybe I'm wrong, Siskey. Tell me I'm wrong. Or
BK is still there. He's not fired.
BK's on the hot seat to win this year, though. I promise you.
No, he's not.
So maybe we are at a different era where they're giving coaches more grace. But we know LSU to be a program that if you don't beat Alabama, you don't compete for titles. Les Miles all the way back to Diesel and their greatest. Charlie McClendon got fired for those reasons.
All right, so a few things here is I think there is a unrealistic pressure when it comes from a fan standpoint as to what's inside the building.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about Brian Kelly. Okay. Brian Kelly could go 0-12 the next 2 seasons, and he's still going to be the head coach at LSU. Okay, because his buyout is $55 million. Okay, he is not going anywhere because you're having to find $20.5 million that you didn't have. Now next year it's going to go up. It's not going down. It's going up. Okay, so Brian Kelly, real talk, could go. I mean, who's going to write the check?
And then who's going to?
We're doing private equity. We're doing all this stuff. You're going to tell me that you're going to pay somebody $55 million to not work?
To walk away, to get Jimbo.
A&M just did it.
Before, and it's LSU now, that's before you go hire the next guy for more money, and you got to give him more money. There's not enough. This isn't a video game. All right, that's one. When it comes to pressure, guys, there's pressure at South Alabama. There's pressure at Arkansas State. There's pressure at Alabama. There's every coach. That's part of the job.
Yes.
Right. And so when you say like I think fans create pressure, right? Not create pressure, but like, oh, this guy needs this guy needs that. He's got to win this many games. It's like, hell, you got to win them all. It's like, all right, let's take who's the safest coach in America right now?
There's not one.
No, I mean, like if you had from a fan's perspective, who would you think the safest coach in America is?
I think Dabo Swinney.
Dabo.
All right, Dabo. If Dabo starts the season 0-6, okay, guess what the fans are going to say? Fire. You got. So like every single week,
Kirby's good.
And everybody's like, and Kirby, that's another example, but like, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, and it's based on every week. When I was at Alabama, okay, Nick Saban, pretty damn good coach. Okay, can we agree on that?
100%.
Okay, we lose to Ole Miss, and the dynasty is over. He's past his time. But do you think Nick Saban was really worried about his job? No, he wanted to win the damn game because he wanted to win the damn game. I mean, but there's no pressure like. And I got a new rule when we do our lives. My new rule is before we can talk about who's on the hot seat, I need to know I need you to look up their buyout.
There you go.
And because people don't understand, like it's not a video game. That's real dollars. Like, do you think?
But Tyler, to challenge that, you'll, and I know A&M just shits money,
but they don't anymore.
That's going to happen. That's the last time it's going to happen.
Yeah, because they didn't have rev share before.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now the athletic department is responsible for that. So you're adding whatever the buyout is, you're adding another $20+ million just in rev share that you didn't have to do. So that you didn't have to come up with like the Jimbo Fisher thing, it wouldn't have been a $95 million decision. It'd been a $115 million decision before you started hiring the new coach. And so like, and here's another thing that people aren't talking about. Who's paid for those buyouts in the last 2 decades?
The same guys that you've been calling on to help you out in that collection.
The same people that you've been asking for millions of dollars to pay for these players are the ones who have been paying these buyouts. They don't have
infinite. Oh, it's got to run out. No, the bubble's got to burst. And we've said this on the show.
That's what I'm saying. The bubble is oozing out. That's why you can't say get rid of this coach, because when you get rid of that coach, you got to get rid of that staff. And you got to pay the staff the rest of their contracts, then hire another staff and be ready to pay for.
It's a big investment. Like it's money that they don't. It's like everybody wants to say, "Oh, Stoops is on the hot seat of Kentucky." $44.6 million.
Well, it almost sounds like we're back to an era where we were in the 80s, 90s, where coaches would stay. We're going to actually get coaches more than 2 years at every instant. I mean,
when you put in rev share and you talk about collective, that's because that wasn't a part of it before. Like that, you weren't investing millions into the players before, so you could take that lump sum of money and give it to the coach and say, "Okay, bye bye," and the coaches weren't making.
That's a good point.
That's $100 million. These guys were making at the most, say what, 10 years ago, the highest paid coach was what, $6 or $7 million?
Well, yeah, I think what Houston Nuts buyout,
hundreds of $1 million.
Yeah, Houston Nuts buyout, I think was around like 7 or 8, and that's when it caught my attention the first time. I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's making $8 million to go away for not outperforming Nick Saban, that's when things started getting crazy in my head. Like, well, this don't make sense. Like, so I got to outwork this guy that's the best of all time. Or if I just do marginally and they get rid of me or shit can me, I'm gonna walk away with $8 million. And those were the numbers. And that's like 2009 where it really caught my attention. The numbers started just going berserk.
Yeah, but when you talk about 7 million to 70 million, that's completely two different languages that you're speaking.
And to Smoke's point, is it's much cheaper to financially support the coach than it is to fire the coach. And look, I'll say this: fans don't like this, but I'm real, and that's why I got a show, right?
Yeah.
Dude, people say, "Oh, that guy can't coach. That guy sucks. That guy." You don't become a head football coach in the FBS because you suck at your job. Like, it doesn't happen.
Billy Napier's not an idiot at coaching football.
Like, they don't go, man, I really like that guy. Let me go pay him $10 million. You don't get those jobs. There's only two reasons that you fail as a coach. You either A, don't have the dudes to go do it, or B, you don't have the resources to go get the dudes. That is it. This shit ain't hard.
So really you're telling me that Gene Chizik was a different coach when he had players like Cam Newton than when he didn't have players like Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like I'll tell you the Cam Newton thing is I used to die laughing as we used to watch because Gus and Hugh are friends, right? So we watch all these cut-ups and shit all the time. And he's like, we need to put this play in. I was like, hell, can we put 2 in? Because like his Heisman Trophy moment against LSU, they call quarterback power into 3 unblocked defenders. 3 unblocked defenders. He stiff-armed one, hurled the other one, and outran the other one. Like, that doesn't – like, you can sit here and talk about all the scheme you want to every day, all day long, but the truth of the matter is every school has a great coach. They either don't have the dudes or they don't have the money to go buy the dudes. One of the other. It's not – this isn't hard.
Or they don't have the resources to get quality coaches in that building so they can delegate all of the responsibilities to that side of the ball.
It still comes back to money, though, right? They either don't have the money or they don't have the dudes, or both. In that case.
And Saban always said, I learned real quick I wasn't good at coaching bad football players.
Nobody.
I mean, look, Nick Saban, everybody's like, oh, Nick Saban's the greatest to ever do it. Well, people forget his ass went 6-6 and lost to Monroe the first year, too.
Yeah.
You think he got smarter overnight?
Now, Reuben Foster showed up.
Julio he went. Yeah.
Marcel showed up.
Or did they get dudes?
Mark Ingram showed up. Yeah, they
got dudes.
Good stuff. Yeah, man. Well, okay. And I think that's actually, I'm so glad that evolved into not just like, because there's programs that there's hot seats. There's no denying people. Freeze. You're very close to Hugh Freeze, and we're not going to go
$1.5 million.
We're going to go at a different angle. He went and got a quarterback. Everybody said last year the reason they couldn't do it was because the quarterback. You hear rumbles, and look, I think Cole Kubelik's one of the best in the business when it comes to evaluating. And on his show, he's talking about he's hearing rumbles that Freeze is having to tell the defense to tone it down a little bit. So this kid, you may know more than this, but is Freeze not under a little bit of a pressure cooker this year if he's now got his quarterback? Because that was the deal. Auburn fans' big deal was look what he did at Ole Miss with Bo Wallace. Look what he did when he got Chad Kelly. We're Auburn. All it takes is a quarterback. So, again, that's why I kind of point to fans may be crazy, but fans fill up the stands. Fans are also the big boosters that are lunatics. And at some programs, it's a little nuttier. Maybe the pressure's on the Jackson Arnolds of the world.
I'll jump into this hot water before you get into it, Siskey. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm harsh on coaches, and I hold everyone to the level of expectation that value at the end of your day that your check is saying that you should be doing. But a problem that I have with some programs, they hire a coach and they fire a coach within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's one of the more difficult things to do is to go in, change culture. Culture means get good players, get the resources in order to win games. That's what culture means. When you win, that means you have a good culture. When you lose, that means bad culture. Auburn, when Hugh got there, they weren't at a great place with talent. They're doing a good job of getting and retaining their talent. Jackson Arnold, this is going to be his true first year for a whole season of playing with a real good coordinator and a quarterback coach to teach him how to play the game. You can't have that much pressure on a still young player, in my opinion, and say he has to perform. If they get 7 games and they win 7, get to a bowl game and win 8 games, to me, successful year. Then you can build and get to 10. But I'm not going to say you got to get 10 wins this year. That's not going to happen. That's unrealistic expectation put on a program that's still building. Like Siskey just said, Nick started out 6-6. Then he built and kept building and turned it into a dynasty. You don't get good if you fire too quick.
Yeah, look, I'm a Jackson Arnold fan. I really like him. I liked him out of high school. I liked him in Oklahoma. Here's the thing is, like, I think fans, we've gotten to the stage of every true freshman quarterback should win the Heisman Trophy in year 1, right? It's a development position. Jackson Arnold had 3 different coordinators in his first 9 months as a quarterback.
And O-line gone.
Right, he had a whole new offensive line. His top 5 wide receivers were gone before the season started, and he was a freshman as a first-year starter. I thought he was, from coaching the position, I thought he probably thought a little bit too much, and he was scared to make a mistake. He was trying to play perfect. But the kid's talented. He really is. I think he's a really good fit for that system. I have called that system in a game before. That's kind of, that I know that system very well, to say the least. I think he's a great fit for it. I thought Peyton Thorne, all the Auburn jokes you want to make besides, he had a -4 WAR rating last year.
He was bad.
It wasn't even in the passing game. It was a lot in the running game. He made a ton of running game mistakes that fans don't even pay attention to, right? And got him in a lot of negative plays.
Negative plays and turnovers.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to call 2nd and 4 than it is 2nd and 12, right? So he made a lot of bad decisions in the running game. Wasn't a very accurate passer to begin with, and made bad decisions.
I mean, when you've got 3rd and 9s and you're running the out routes, and you've got a guy like Coleman who's wide open and he's airmailing them about 15 yards.
Yeah,
you ain't making a living off 3rd and 6.
You can only do so much.
But I will tell you this: I think Hugh has a team this year. I think Hugh likes his team this year. You can take that for what it's worth.
Well,
okay,
we know he
likes his team this year, and when he likes his team, he likes his team.
And we know what. Look, man, all the Hugh Freeze snideness aside, jokes aside, there's a reason. I mean, we saw him beat Bama twice in a row. We saw him do things when he had the receivers, when he has those tanks out there at wide out and a quarterback that can get them to him. He has a dangerous ass offense. I think they're a team, again. We like to joke, clown on them a lot around here, but I think they're a team that them in Oklahoma, I know one year high on with Mateer and those guys that could be a big sleeper in the SEC.
And they're coming, and he's going to have he ain't got these. This isn't a 1 year.
And you got to look. You can't ignore the external factors, schedules. Ole Miss, Tennessee, Auburn, they have the Texas, they have the favorable SEC schedules.
Is there a favorable SEC schedule?
I mean, favorable relative to some of the other schedules. Yeah, I mean, favorable compared to Oklahoma's schedule or Florida's or,
Hey, to Smoke's point, though, real quick, to Smoke's point, he's built this team for 2 years. And guess what? They're not going to be a one-hit wonder. They're all come back next year, too.
Yeah, they're young.
And so when it comes to the Hugh Freeze hot seat stuff, like, all right, we're going to pay this guy $20 million to leave, or we're going to let him cut. We're going to pay him to work with this team that he's built that's really good next year, right? So, look, I think they're going to be good. I do. I do think they have a very difficult opening part of the schedule. Okay, they got to go to Oklahoma, to Baylor, to Texas A&M, and they host Georgia in the first 6 games. Yeah. But after that, it gets manageable. So if he can get through there without having the people on fire, he'll get on a run in the second half.
Baylor's going to be a big one out of the gate. It's going to be a very interesting game.
They're going to be good.
I got a fun topic, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but I don't know where you at, Tyler.
I'm in my house with the Braves on. The longer you talk to me, the less I got to go downstairs.
Before we get to the final topic, I got a couple more I want to get to. There's a couple of teams that I think one may get a pass, one that's always a pressure cooker that you coached at, and one I want a true impression on one of the biggest names. I've got a helmet with 3 of his family members signed on it. They're that damn big, sitting right next to me. I want to get some real opinions. One, Tennessee, Heupel, like a lot of people not paying attention. And again, they almost mirror Ole Miss the last 3 or 4 years. They're 9-10 win team. Heupel's got an offense that seems to work regardless who you plug in. Does he get a pass with Nico going, or with their schedule? Are they a team that can kind of sneak up? Because you got to give Heupel some credit. They've recruited well on defense. You know, Aguilar's coming to a more simplistic system at Tennessee where he might can flourish with what he was coming to. Then what you said? Like, are y'all looking at me crazy? Is this not a quarterback friendly system?
It is a quarterback friendly system if you don't turn the ball over. And if you study Joey,
so does Tennessee get a pass? They a surprise team. What do we expect out of the Vols this year?
I think the Vols will win. They'll go bowling, but I don't expect them to get to the playoffs.
No, I don't think they're a playoff team. Look, I would have. You could have talked me into them being a playoff team if Nico was the quarterback.
Agreed.
I will say this: nobody won on that deal. Tennessee didn't win, and Nico didn't win. They both lost. Okay. Yep. You know, unfortunately, you know, sometimes some of these really good players, one of these days, they're going to learn not to have family members being so involved because it's really hurting. I mean, I know some stories. I'm not even going to get into them right now that will make your freaking hair crawl. But hey, at the end of the day, I said this on our show a couple weeks ago. Tennessee fans, are they going to understand? No, they're not. But they should, because they were all in all four. Hype will tell them to kick rocks.
Right.
Okay, but they're just going to show me. I think they are going to be good on defense. I think they're going to be legit on offense. I mean, on defense, and I think they're going to be able to run the football. Okay, but with all that being said, they're going to have to show me with Aguilar. I mean, I live in reality, right? So reality's out here, and sometimes fandom where you can't see reality. You put those binoculars on like this, right, and you can see. But how does somebody's going to have to explain to me how the quarterback that went 5-6 at App State is going to come to Tennessee and play better in the SEC?
So you're saying you don't get better when one of your better players leave. You're saying that.
I feel safe and confident in that statement. Yeah.
Yeah. In that offense, and you studied it a ton, Siskey. The number one thing that you can't do, and a lot of people did not give Nico enough credit, is he didn't turn the ball over.
No.
Right? If you don't turn the ball over and you just keep it moving.
Every game in, every possession in with a kick.
There you go. You'll have a great opportunity of winning games. But if you study Aguilar in the last few years, he's a turnover and an interception magnet. Can't turn the ball over and win.
And you gotta think too now. He hasn't practiced with this team. Okay. Right. And this system is different now. The spacing is completely different. He's never even repped. Like, it's different now, and I'm a receivers guy. The spacing and everything else, it's
speed and space.
And like they can run, I think they're going to be fine. Do I think they're a playoff team? No.
So does he get a pass because of the craziness?
He does, but the fans, no. You know, come on. What fan base is Alabama fans going to get DeBoer a pass if he loses all of his star players? Or no, Alabama could be playing with the Water Boys and nobody's getting a pass. Like,
Calvin, tell me, does your boy Heupel get a pass because of the craziness with the Nico situation? And that's a great segue. Oh, no, let's go say what you're going. Then we're going to segue.
You don't get a pass when you're getting paid millions, and I mean millions of dollars to coach. Accept the heartache that comes with it. Big boy pants, man. Just go to work. They're not going to go to the playoffs. But they'll be perfectly fine in terms of getting to a bowl game and getting some better players on their team next year.
Yeah, they're going to have enough ass to kick ass, but I wouldn't expect them to do it every week.
No.
Well, and look, you alluded to it, so let's jump into it. Tennessee's fan base is crazy. LSU's batshit. But if there's a crown, it might be to the folks that wear the crimson. There is no fan base more rabid, more nuts, more with a higher expectation level, especially since the GOAT of GOATs just came through, than the University of Alabama. But oddly, Siskey and I maybe agree with this, Smoke. They kind of had, is for Alabama to be one of the name brands they are, have had a quiet offseason of kind of bringing a program together. There weren't the transfers that you had last year. There seems to be a lot of stabilization within the program. And then here in the last few weeks, you look at recruiting and they've just blown the hell up. And they're like, well, DeBoer couldn't recruit like that. And he's doing it right now.
Can I ask you a question? When you hear fans say that DeBoer and Courtney Morgan can't recruit like that, Didn't they have a top 5?
Yeah, they were nuts. Well, I was like, man, y'all don't understand football today. This isn't the day of going to mama's house and making the cornbread and stuff. That ain't how it works anymore.
So here's the reality check. When you start looking at when you keep on talking about recruiting, the number one thing, in my opinion, I ain't the smartest guy out there, in recruiting is retaining your roster. Last time I checked, I don't think none of their starters left. They got all their guys coming back. What? They retained. So if you can recruit yours and go out and go get some of the other guys out there that's on the street that are good, I think you're doing a pretty good job.
Well, and Siskey, something you like to point out is, and we've talked about on the show, is everybody lives in this microwave. And we've it's almost like we forgot because last year was so traumatic and they had 9 wins in a turmoil season where everything was
9 wins. Can't do it.
Got this coach that has literally won at the highest level. He's brought in a GM, which put him ahead of a game that y'all know for a fact is where we're headed in college football. And not just a GM, maybe one of the most dynamic in the game, in the sport right now. But what kind of expectation? But like you alluded to it, Bama fans are nuts, Siskey. What kind of expectations is Bama? It's always a hot seat when you coach at Alabama.
Yeah.
But am I crazy to have expectations that Bama may be right back to where, I mean, back in the playoffs, back in the SEC?
Yeah, I think that. And I'm not obviously not a fan of anyone, just for the people that don't know, even though I did work at Alabama, but I did play at Auburn.
Played at Troy, coached at Ole Miss, Arkansas State.
Everywhere. Yeah. I think Alabama, honest opinion, I think Alabama will be much, much improved from what they were a year ago, particularly at the quarterback position. And yes, I did say it. I think they're going to be better at the quarterback position because they'll have a quarterback that actually runs the offense. So I think execution will be better. I think they went out the thing that people, everybody's going to give Ryan Williams all the credit in the world, but what's going to make Ryan Williams better is they actually got other guys with him this year that can take some pressure off of him. And for obviously Smoke knows, but one receiver is never going to beat anybody. You'll cloud that ship and make his life hell the rest of the game. But if you can take a receiver out, you can't. But when you get multiple guys, you can't. I think defensively they're going to be elite. I think it's a different kind of defense. So I think a lot of Alabama fans are having a tough time with that adjustment. You're not going to have these dominant D lines that you've had in the past. I think a lot of that has to do with the unlimited free agency that we have in the sport right now. I think it's hindering development on both sides of the ball up front. The only difference you're going to see, I think, with Alabama this year, that if I had a question mark, which is not really, I don't know what happened at the running back position, right? So, that was always a position of dudes for a long time, and it's been a while.
Loaded.
It's been a while, right? And then a guy that you can turn around and hand, like, hey, I call it DNA guys, right? When it's 4th and 1 and there's 100,000 people in the stands and everybody in the building knows you're turning around and handing it to the guy but he's still going to get it. Those dudes. And
you sound like Derrick Henry, Trent.
Yeah. Like, look, when I was there, my first year, we had TJ Yeldon, Kenyon Drake. We had this guy named Alvin Kamara. We had this guy named Derrick Henry. And then we had Alti Tenpenny, God rest his soul. He was a freak, and he God rest his soul. And then when Alvin Kamara got pissed off and left, we went and got Damian Harris. We went and got Bo Scarborough. And guess who came behind him? Brian Robinson, Jacobs. Guess who came behind him? Najee Harris. Like, when was the last time? Like, how long has it been?
That's stupid.
How long has it been?
Too long for us to even have this conversation. I agree with you on.
Do you think 100%. Guys like Richard Young is a bigger back? Daniel Hill's a big. Did they not? I wish I was from Missouri sometimes because we can go. You talking about the Arch Manning stuff and all that. I wish I could say I'm from the show me state. I don't give a shit about how many stars you got because nobody gives a shit on Saturday. You got to get in and you got to go produce.
Yeah, and Petty, what Siskey he just ran off.
20 just
starting running back.
Well, his echo what you've been saying, Smoke, that's a question. Where's the running back game? Where's the running game going? Is it going to show up this year?
I think you can do it by committee. Don't get me wrong. Like running backs, okay. Like you can get by with guys. It's not like they're going to be shitty. I'm just saying, like, when was the last time? Like, you got like, if I had a question, the difference to keep it for me, if I wouldn't just star them to get there, is they don't have a dude that you go, hey, it's 4th and 1. There's 100,000 people here. There's 15 million watching at home. Everybody knows he's going to get it. They still can't stop him.
Right. Like, there's not a marquee name back there, a marquee type of talent that we know of, that we've seen. Like even when Derek was young, there is 5 or 6 runs. You're like, whoa, who's that guy?
It was an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, what I'm saying, and Siskey don't have to say what I'm saying. When I cut the film on and I'm watching all 22, there's not a running back that I sit back and like, yeah, he just made that guy miss because you didn't have to block him.
Who is the other team scared of? Like, it's like, who are you? Like, how many dudes does the other team go, oh shit, we gotta drop, we gotta have 8 in the box the whole game.
Hey Siskey, I was talking to my buddy Jim Monis today, and we're talking about running backs. And I always go back to Anthony Lynn, our offensive coordinator at that time in Buffalo. And his office was across the hall from me. I used to always go over there and we talk ball. And he's always drawing up different runs. And I'm like, dude, I know ball. You don't have that guy blocked. And he'll just point like, yeah, that's Shady's guy.
Yeah, that's DNA block, baby.
I'm like, how come you don't have these two guys? It's like, yeah, Shady got him. What we're saying is there's not a he got him type of.
There's not one that you can go when the sperm, like he won that battle when the sperm met the egg. It ain't one of them dudes.
Right.
Which I think they should put Archie's in some kind of museum somewhere.
Hey Siskey, yeah. I just got a text from our safety coach, my good buddy, old teammate Jason Jones.
Oh, he's down in Florida, right?
He said you and Siskey are having a hell of a show.
That's my guy.
I love Jay Jones.
Jay Jones.
Tyra Edwards.
I work with Jay Jones at Ole Miss. And like, it's weird. It's like I feel like I've worked with the entire Alabama defensive staff.
Tell Jason there's only one of them though that cheered for him hard in college, and not you two dudes.
There's no. He is such a. I mean, dude. When I say like there's good people in the business, and there's just great dudes. He's a stud. It just always had a smile on his face, give you shirt off his back. He's just a really good dude.
And great teammate, outstanding man.
He's awesome.
He's in Florida now, and it's man, guys. People they're talking about sleeping. People, I know their schedule is daunting as hell, but the pieces are there for Florida to be dangerous as hell for everybody they play. It's Lagway. Is Lagway? I know. Has he practiced? Is he is he got?
Well, there's no rumblings coming out that anybody should be worried about what he can do in the future. I'm going to say I'm not from the Show Me State. But if you haven't thrown a football the entire spring and you had all last year to get the shoulder right and it's not right yet, and you say it's going to be okay, I have to go off of reports of saying it's going to be okay. And when that young man is dialed in, speaking of DJ Lagway, the quarterback position, he's the reason why we're not talking about Billy Napier having a job somewhere else. Because he came in and he took that team and he was a stabilizer.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything that you're asking for from a quarterback position, leadership, intangibles. Forget the physical tools. The physical tools you can see.
Hope.
But leadership, like the hope of we are going to win when he steps in this huddle. Like you saw guys playing faster, blocking longer, running harder. Guys on defense knew all we had to do was get one stop, give our guy the ball back, and have a chance. So when you have a guy like that, and he's that talented, and they have a bunch of players in the trenches coming back, this year, you always have a shot. But again, it's the SEC, and it's a week-to-week depth league. And if you're not loaded in the position of offensive and defensive line, running back, you're going to have a tough time of competing. But I think Florida has a chance. It's a slim one, but they got a shot.
Yeah, I think he's got some improving to do, regardless if he's healthy or not. I thought he got up fundamentally. He got up underneath the ball a little bit, was out of balance. But that'll come with reps, right? And he'll figure it out. And
that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm agreeing with you, Siskey. He didn't get those reps in the spring. So when is he going to get those reps?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that like him and Lenore Sellers for me are very similar from a developmental standpoint of where like and Marcel Reed, you can throw him in there from a passing game. They have a lot of similarities. They get up underneath the ball a lot and they sell it. But they have to get all three of those guys. I said this the other day. They have to be more comfortable being robots as opposed to like they look when they're like this shit breaks down and they got to make a play. You're like, that's when they make the holy shit plays when they don't think. Yep. When they're back there and it's 3rd and 10 and we're in drop back and they're sitting there and they that's when they panic. Just they got to learn how to be comfortable when they're like asked to be comfortable instead of just doing that. But Smoke kind of hit the nail on the head with me with DJ Lagway. Is I've said this for a long time. The best quality that DJ Lagway has is he makes the other 10 guys better. Yeah. And when he's, for whatever reason, when he's in the game, they believe. Now, it wasn't that he performed that much better than the other guy. They played better when he was in the game. They believe in him, whatever you want to call it, right?
He's got I was there live when Ole Miss lost to him in the Swamp. And Siskey, to your point, he's kind of got that intangible. He's built like damn Dak Prescott, but maybe his bad mechanics because he does have a cannon and maybe he could get away with that in high school and he hadn't had the reps, but the kid's that's the difference. I think he's got a better arm than Dak had at this stage and can make more plays.
Well, he's got massive upside, right? So it's just a matter of him going.
But his body is very impressive. He's a big kid. He's just gonna stay healthy.
Yeah, if Florida wins 10 games, they're the best team in the country. They'll probably win the damn national championship.
Yeah. Well, and they should be in the playoffs at that.
Well, they win 10. I don't know. Yeah. They're probably the best team in the country.
Yeah, with their schedule, you got Miami and Florida State as your non-cons, which Miami's another great science experiment. I can't wait to that Notre Dame game to see how. I think Ward. Me and Smoke talked about this last. Ward kind of masked the Cristobal issues from the year before, but he feels like the team's better suited. But I question Beck. But man,
I think they'll be fine. Miami, they'll be fine on offense. They'll figure it out. Defensively, they have to improve if they want to take the next step.
But and they got and I know you just said Notre Dame, but Notre Dame might have the second best player on offense in college football.
Love.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love.
Plus 4,000 for Heisman Trophy. Your boy may or may not throw a little on.
Oh, that might be a little.
Listen, he was. Siskey, he was only maybe 65-70% in last year's playoff run. Dude, that run that 2 or 3 yard run that he had against, was it Penn State? Yeah, that might have been one of the best 2 yard runs I've seen.
We talked about them today on the show with AJ. I was like, at no point in time last year when I watched Notre Dame play, I was like, oh, these guys are world beaters. But they play defense, they run the football, they play sound football, and they out-tough people. They play SEC football at Notre Dame.
Siskey, you out-tough people. And one of the things I've been a big hater of Notre Dame for the last 20 years, since the Holtz days, because I feel like they get propped up because of that era, and then they play in the playoffs and just get smashed because they're not physical. We saw it against Alabama. But last year they got the playoffs.
Can I say something?
10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time.
But for the last 25, they've been getting put in games they didn't deserve and getting their asses kicked. But last year in the playoffs, you see that offensive lineman going off, and like you said, that was a
young group as well too. That's a young group, the offensive line.
And their best offensive lineman was out the whole year anyway with a
I think Notre Dame is the Notre Dame that got the reason they get propped up. I think they're back to that team.
Hey, how many years has Marcus Freeman been at Notre Dame, by the way? Going back to Smoke's point.
1, 2. What's he been? 1, 3.
How long does it take to get you guys in there?
There you go, man.
And then your
patience, people.
The patient graded me on my year at 4 years.
And with that said, we're about to hop to the last one. And I do want to say this, Siskey, Smoke can back me up on our show last Monday night. Look, man, I think he does run the offense better. This is back to Alabama. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ty Simpson is in the top 5 in the SEC stat-wise by the end of the year. Based off his ability to run the offense, the weapons he now has at wide receiver with Isaiah Horton. Jeremy Bernard, you saw him live. I'm high on him as well. I think he's got the weapons. I think with Grubb's offense, I
can tell you what they're going to do. If any defensive coordinator in the SEC is listening to me, You better tell your guys to back up because Grubbs and that group is going to challenge you vertically.
Yes, they are. They've got guys to do it. Horton's a big 6'5" physical freak.
But to my point, that was where I was going a little while ago, Smoke, and I didn't want to get football-y with, I don't know how many people understand, but that's why when I said my question, when they do that, what do you got to do on offense?
You better be able to run the ball.
You better be able to run it when they go drop when they're playing too high and playing soft, right?
Yeah, when they're playing the shell coverage, which is basically soft, you catch the ball in front of me, they're going to say, hey, you know what? You better run the ball.
Yeah, that's what that was my. When I say I gotta, that's why I said like if that's my only, if they can do that, then they're going to be really good.
Yeah, that team is not going to see a lot of one high. If they see a lot of one high,
brother,
they start to bang.
I'm telling you,
if you see a lot of one high, there's not going to be anybody on your podcast on this show from about week 5 on because they're going to be like 1-4 if everybody's playing it. If you're able to play Alabama one high this year, Alabama's going to go 5-7.
Ooh.
I'm just saying if you see people playing on one high all year, that means they're probably 5-7.
Okay. It means no running and getting it done. All right. Before we get to our last topic, I do want to look, man, because I want to hear.
Well, they're not busting people's faces down the field vertically, and they're struggling on offense.
And that's right. Yeah,
they should see open field, split safeties majority of the season. Their receiver core is dynamic. They can pass, bro. We're saying if they play soft coverage, give you a 6-man box or 7-man box. They should be able to, with that offensive line, run the ball for 5 yards a pop.
I should be able to run the football.
Correct. And when they take that safety down and he starts getting nosy, strike the band up vertically. The same thing they did it at Washington, they're going to try to do here at Alabama.
How about this? Let me give you watch this. I got good at this shit, Petty. Watch this segue right here. Hey, Petty. If Alabama fans start seeing a bunch of one high, start betting the unders. How about that?
We've got some over-unders coming. With that said, I do want a coach's perspective because like I said, I've got 3 of the names on my damn desk. It's a hell of a name. There's been no player with the hype quite as Arch coming in, but I want a coach and a player, guys that actually look the game objectively, because he's in between Superman and God, we hope he busts because nobody can live up to that hype. What are realistic expectations for this kid?
Well, I said this. I'll give you 2 things. Is if his name was Pete Sanchez, nobody would be talking about him, right? Because he'd just be another backup quarterback.
Exactly.
All right. Now, I think it says a lot for the kid, I guess young man, that he's made it this far with that last name, because a lot of that's why you just don't see a lot of former players, kids, the amount that try to play ever get to that level that their dad was or whatever, because of the expectations that come along with it. Right. A lot of them. So to get to this point, just to where he is now, is a success story. I think he's immensely talented. I think he's got all the tools, every one of them, to be a great quarterback. With that being said, I wish I was from Missouri, because he's got to go out there and do it now. And that's the only kind of like the last box we got to go check. He's checked every box. Now, nothing tells me, since he's checked 99 boxes. Okay, this is box number 100. So nothing tells me he's not going to check it. With that being said, it kind of goes with Ole Miss fans with Austin Simmons. It's like they're still going to be first-year starters. They're still going to make mistakes. And so to expect him to go out and play at a first pick status that some of these gurus have said.
Wait, hold on now. I can't expect Austin Simmons to play exactly like that one drive against Georgia every drive.
About the one that should have been pick 6 on the batted ball, then he threw it in the coverage, in the triple coverage.
The triple coverage? Yeah. That.
We talked about like his highlights. He's got everybody's like, oh, look at that throw. I was like, yeah, I would have been.
When AJ McCarron's like, I look at him like, oh shit, why did you throw that?
Yeah, almost every throw. Now, to his credit, he's talented enough to make the throws, right? Yeah. But so there's give and take. But for me, I think Arch checks all the boxes. He's just got one more to check, and I have no reason to say he won't do it. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think he's coming out throwing for 6,600 yards against Ohio State either.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a slow progression.
I
Man,
think
what a
Arch.
great
I
opening
think.
weekend.
I think Arch has all the stars aligned in order to be successful. Pedigree, talent, resources, and we're talking about at Texas.
He's got players around him.
And players around him, and he also has a great play caller. Right?
Yeah.
And he's never been asked to jump in and become Superman. Just be one of the men. And I think when you can do that and you can sit back and you can learn. Like everybody's like, why didn't he play in front of Quinn Ewers? At some point, learning takes a part of the whole quarterback development. Like, let me see, let me sit, let me learn, let me go in the classroom and figure some things out before I get tossed out there and I'm not ready to go yet. Like it happened to his uncle. And Peyton had to learn the hard way, but he learned. But I think he has all the talent and all the tools to be successful. Like you said, Siskey, it just takes time. And we have to give him that time. We have to give him the grace. By the middle of the season, I think we should revisit this and see where we're at.
Him and Julian saying at Ohio State, it's very similar, in my opinion.
Correct.
And people have almost forgotten about saying because the transfer sitting behind last year, was originally at Alabama, but Sam's 5-star. I mean, I know you don't get in the stars, but he was one of the top quarterback prospects in the country coming out of California with a lot of expectations. And he's up at Ohio State. Have they penciled him in as the starter?
He's going to be. I don't care who he'll be starting.
That's going to be saying Manning first. I'm telling you, this opening.
Take the under.
One of the best ever. Speaking of over-unders, now it's time to have a little fun with Smoke and Siskey. I'm going to put their asses on the hot seat. I didn't give them any heads up. And as you know, Siskey likes to gamble. I like to gamble. Smoke runs a casino in Jamaica. So this is how we roll. I dug into the over-unders, and this time of year, there's no game. So what we're looking at is mostly team total over-unders. But I did get to page 12 and 28 of some prop bet over-underers. I'm gonna throw up my guys and see what they can come up with.
Hey, can you keep record of this and see how we did?
Somebody, I'm gonna have to take notes and see. I'll circle.
He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to go check little dots.
So one of the things that caught me is, and I'm gonna do them in groups. We got the 10.5 group, which is ironically nothing but B1G teams. Like all the 10.5 are from the same conference, and it's not the SEC. So we've got the Ducks, Ohio State, and Penn State are 10.5 right now in the Vegas odds books. What do you got? Let's do that. What do you got, Smoke? Ducks, are they winning over 10.5 or under?
I think the Ducks are under.
Ooh. All right. Siskey?
I'm going under because of travel.
Ooh, I mean, so you think Ohio State maybe gets some? What did they play? They played at Ohio State last year. They
played at Oregon last year.
They played at Oregon last year. They got to travel across the country like that. So to me, again, Siskey, I don't think a lot of people gave Dylan Gabriel enough credit, even myself. A veteran quarterback being able to go on the road and win some games that they weren't supposed to win early. Like they should have lost to Boise early.
Yeah.
But when you have a veteran quarterback, playmakers in the middle of the interior of the offensive line, that wasn't good last year. But when you have a veteran that can get rid of the ball on time, some good playmakers, you can get rolling and get some games. They don't have that guy this year.
Yep.
All right.
Dante Moore in it.
Ohio State, we just said, breaking in Julian saying they've got a hot shot coming in, lost 2 big running backs, but they always bring in talent. They've got the best wide receiver on planet Earth right now. Sorry, Bama fans. Hollywood's awesome, but Jeremiah Smith is a freak. Ohio State, 10.5. They're going to over under.
I'm going to go over.
Over.
Over. Okay, so we got to with Florida. So we may be a repeat a national title appearance.
And here's it's hard to repeat. What I'm saying is Ohio State has the best player on offense in the country and the best player on defense.
So I got to pull up their schedule. That's where I'm getting, because the Big Ten schedule now you can get.
Fans got the under on both these. I'm gonna put fans too. All right, let's go. Penn State. They're also 10.5. Their schedule must be soft. I'm not a James Franklin believer in big games. He wins the games he's supposed to. He doesn't win the big ones. Maybe.
So that helps you even more over, because he always wins all of them except one.
I'm going over on Penn State. I think they're 11-win team at worst.
Woo! Smoke.
They're loaded, bro.
They don't even throw to the receiver. I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay. I like everything. I like everything. I like everything about Penn State.
All right, that's our 10.5. So we go to the next category. As you know, one of the more famous coaches in the NFL is making his college debut at North Carolina this year. Over under on, and as you also may know, he has a girlfriend that's younger than most of our daughters.
That kind of died.
No, hold up. Over under on Bill Belichick girlfriend sightings when North Carolina plays on TV. I'm setting it at 4.5. That gives you one each quarter and one post-game victory or pre-game spotting. 4.5. Bill Belichick's girlfriend sightings on TV.
I'm gonna go under just because they got in trouble for having her on campus and doing all that, and they said some stuff to get her out of the way. And since the last time we talked about her, she's been out of the way. I'm gonna go under.
I'm going way under, like 0.
Whoa. Okay, so the Bill Belichick.
Hey, this is where smoke. This is where smoke needs to come in. Let me tell you how networks do shit. They want access. They get told things. I'm going 0.
There you go.
Woo. Okay.
You won't have another interview.
Yeah, they like access. 0.
Prop bets. All right. The 9.5 batch. The 9.5 batch. We're going to start out with one of y'all's favorites, a guy that Smoke has been singing the praises of, good friends, someone that you are all. I think you think they're America's team now. Dabo and
somebody the Clemson Tigers?
Clemson Tigers 9.5 almost seems like a value pick. Tell me where the over is wrong here, guys.
Listen.
I'm way over.
I'm way over. I think they can come home and Uncle Dabo can get him another natty. I think that team is so talented. And
best defensive line in college football.
What about receiver core and quarterback combo? And they're bringing back their entire
Klubnik can win the Heisman.
And my man Matt Luke retained 2 NFL tackles.
Hey,
just saying.
Much love.
Don't say nothing to nobody until at the end of the year when they see Coach
Deion they may lose the first one. Still got them over.
All right. One more from the ACC. Miami with the new quarterback with all the cars and the girlfriend.
Why you hit me with all my quick U clients, man? You know I gotta just say over on all of them just for business. You know what I mean? Every one of them, my clients. You just
Tyler makes a business.
It is good that my clients are all in the over category, though. I will say that it's good for business. Go ahead.
There you go.
All right, what's Miami's number?
9.5. You know they open with Notre Dame. They got Florida on the schedule.
Do they play Clemson regular season or no?
I think they do.
I think Clemson's toughest regular season game may be SMU.
So they don't play Clemson.
Hold on, let me pull that up. No, not the damn.
I think.
Well, I got to go over, 1 because they're a quick U client, and 2 because my guy Mario Cristobal I work with is the head coach.
There you go.
I'm going to go all smoke political on you on here and go over.
Smoke?
I'm going to say, since you said over, that defense is kind of shaky. They're bound to give you one lump in there. You know what? I think there can be 2. I'm gonna go under. I think SMU is the other team in the ACC.
I think I'm with Smoke on this one.
Another quick U client. Just saying, hey, we know what we're doing. We can get teams over here.
Let's just keep Tyler on the pressure cooker in the quick U business. How about the Georgia Bulldogs at 9.5?
Who?
Georgia. I think they're quick
U. Georgia over. Georgia's never been about. Like people everybody's on this like Gunner Stockton kick. Let me tell you something. People forget that Georgia's 2 best years in the history of the school, Stetson Bennett was the quarterback. As long as Kirby Smart's there, Georgia's always going to be about the other 21 dudes. And I think they are young on both sides up front, but they got dudes. They just haven't played yet. I think they're going to be fine. I think Georgia, you get 10-2 Georgia, sign me up. I'm not I'm not going to be the asshole that bets against Kirby. I mean,
I'm betting on Georgia to win 10 till they don't win 10. And when they
that's
don't,
this is like, let me tell you what I'm getting, like real talk. Kirby is getting where Nick was.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for the downfall. Everybody's looking for that tick down. Like, how many years do they have to win before everybody starts believing in them?
Well, I think you know what? I think this is their down year. And if their down year, hold on. If their down year is 10-2 and they don't play in the SEC championship but still get to the playoffs, I'm gonna take the over on that. But I think this is probably the worst of his best years.
So over under, Smoke.
I am going over 9.5. I think they get
over
to
9.5. All right.
Also, Kirby's my guy, so I can't. I mean, we got Kirby over there, we got Schumann over there, I got Trey Scott over there. I can't.
I told you I got them beating Bama.
All right, Speaking of, we got two more from the SEC sitting at the 9.5 mark. One of them is those Arch Manning-led Texas Longhorns who open up with Ohio State. They go to Florida this year, go to Georgia, but after that, it gets pretty manageable for the Longhorns.
Over.
So they're going to win. Y'all are saying they win one of the Ohio State Georgia games.
Yeah, I think they win. I got one for you. I think they win both of them.
Woo! Siskey, hot take right there. We're marking that one down.
I don't think that's a super hot take.
Let me tell you what they're going to do though. They're going to lose that. They're going to lose in Gainesville though.
Oh,
that's a tough one.
There we go. Okay.
You gotta have some type of stumble along the way, but they're still a playoff team.
All right. Smoke wore the helmet. Siskey coached the helmet. Alabama 9.5.
That's easy.
I'm gonna go over.
That's way over.
They won 9 last year, and people call it a struggle. I think they get one more.
I think Alabama's a 10.
I'm giving them a game. I'm giving them a game, and I'm giving them a 2-game bonus because they got a quarterback that won't throw hitches in the cover too.
We did this on our show a few weeks back. And man, I tried to not.
That's for you, Smoke. Nobody else got that. That was just me and you, Smoke.
Sorry, I was already in my thoughts, so I maybe even not heard what you said. I'm gonna have to read.
Don't do it.
All right, so that's the 9.5. All right, the next category.
I mean, Milroe outscored Oklahoma's offense last year.
I think Milroe.
I'm labeled a Milroe hater, so I'm not going to speak.
I'm not calling you Milroe hater. I'm just saying I think Milroe.
I think he was a great running back. Great running back.
I said that and got torched on this show.
I don't. Well,
it's your show. It's not mine.
Well, not this one. It was another one, but I got.
I don't think he's a running back. I think he's a functional quarterback. Just in a bad. That's again. That's Smoke's opinion. That's Smoke's opinion.
I don't see it.
They don't have to be. You said Jackson Arnold's a great quarterback, or you believe in him. I didn't say, hey man, that guy threw into triple coverage. I didn't say that. I allowed you to go and give.
One was a first-year star. The other one has started like 87 games.
Listen.
When you lose me as a quarterback, real talk. You know me tell you when you lose me as a quarterback, when you throw hitches in the cover too. Hey, no, you lose me on that shit though. You know what I mean? Like as a quarterback, you could be freaking Aaron Rodgers. You throw a hitch in the cover two, I'm done with you.
Done.
It happens. It happens.
Me and Mose had an argument. I'm gonna have to.
Does it though?
Siskey, I want to bring you into an argument.
Not on Saturdays or Sundays. It happens all the time on Friday though.
Go ahead.
We're gonna do it all fair, but I'm gonna have to bring you into it because you coached one of these dudes. That is a huge argument that me and Smoke had about quarterbacks, and I'm trying to take brain away. All right, but
what are you talking about? You talking about the Eli and Dak one?
No, I'm talking about Dak and Chad Kelly. That Chad Kelly.
I didn't coach Chad.
Oh, did you not? I said Chad was a better college quarterback than Dak, and Smoke makes him crazy.
No shot.
He was. He was better. He just is an idiot. I can't. So I can separate the moron from what I saw with my eyes, and what I saw with my eyes is one of the best spinners of the ball at that school.
Again, like I think you're putting in a talent of throwing the football, and like the guy playing the position. When was the last time you remember?
Grey Cup MVP.
Just hold tight. Grey Cup MVP. Okay.
Or no, the league MVP, not the whole league MVP.
Okay. And you're talking about the guy that's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Like won 14 games as a rookie. Like
In Chad Kelly's defense, Chad, I don't know if he'd be the highest paid, but he would probably be getting paid if he just, went to the right house at nighttime.
After eating bath salts.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I didn't mean to derail us. Let's smoke.
But again, that comes into decision making.
It does. I know that's
it's just like throwing a hitch in cover 2. Pathetic decision.
Okay.
And that counts a ton.
I think the SEC is going to cannibalize itself. This was another one from page 12. What is the over-under of SEC coaches that bitch about strength of schedule once their program gets left out of this year's playoffs? I'm setting it at 3.5. We know one for a fact.
Over.
Every team that finishes with 9 wins.
Yeah.
So will that be – how many is that? Will that be 3.5? 3 or 4, Siskey?
I think that's 4.
Smoke says over.
Well, that's probably the number because 9 last year was 3 9-win teams, right?
I'm trying to set these numbers good.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas tried to set these good.
Yeah. I mean, if you got 4 9-win teams, it'll be over. If you got 3, it'll be. I don't think anybody's gonna bitch at 8-4. Well, I tell you, yeah, let's go over because maybe if they're 8-4, they're like, hey, if I had Missouri, let's have a serious conversation. I know we're going long on your show, but
is that okay with you?
If Florida had Missouri's schedule, we'd be having a different conversation about Florida.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's when you've gone to 16 teams in the SEC and you've gone to 18 in the Big Ten, the schedules get very unbalanced.
Say someone's going to complain about you. I had to go on the road at least 5 times and play against 3 top 10 teams, and at some point they all do it.
Well, there's going to be a team. There's going to be a team in the SEC. Here's the deal: when you do this, win-loss toss stuff in the preseason, there's going to be a team that we're not talking about at all, and we're giving people automatic dubs on that are going to be world beaters. They're going to be kicking the shit out of everybody. And then there's going to be teams that we've built up to be like this really good team. They're going to be average as grits, right?
Or a team end up like this team right here to my left.
Yeah, they'll find a way to get you right. So it's like when you look up like Florida last year. I sat there I was the only because Billy's my buddy. So I was the only I was carrying the torch for Billy last year. Everybody's like, oh, you seen their last 5 games? They're going to lose all of them. They're going to get the shit kicked out of them. Well, they won the last 4.
I was one of them.
But you know what I'm saying? They get LSU, they get Ole Miss, they get Florida State because Florida State was average as grits or worse than grits. And then they go and get, bowl game. And so, and so it's for me, it's about, there's going to be a team that the schedule ends up being a little bit better for that we're killing because of somebody's not going to be as good.
I'm gonna give you a team that when they get hot and they start rolling, I think we're all going to back up like, wow, Oklahoma. I think John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle.
Plus 3,500 Heisman Trophy, the only other bet I got.
There you go. You know what Brent Venables is going to do on defense. And Todd Bates or the defensive line coach.
Great dude, by the way.
Phenomenal D-line coach. Great human being. I just think that when you get to the middle of the season and you have the right build and you look up on a few and your quarterback and your run game, and like you said, get that player out the middle of the field, you're going to have to figure out how you want to defend Oklahoma.
And I think it's a big deal with Oklahoma. A lot of people don't even me and you are probably, there's very few people on this planet probably actually watch John Mateer play football.
Well, let me ask this question before you go into that, because I want to ask this from the fan perspective.
A long time ago.
How does it trend? The question is going to be, I know he put up great numbers out west. Not many people saw him. We see the numbers now. How does that translate into the SEC? Can he get it done at this level?
I'm from Alabama, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know that I grew up a big SEC fan, right?
That's right.
I think sometimes the SEC gets a little full of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And acts like that you can never go play. If you don't play, by God, if you're not starting SEC, Hey, Texas, wait till you get an SEC, Texas. Just wait. You just wait until you get some of this SEC
football. All they did was roll up in the Tuscaloosa. Let me get that.
And look,
I game 2 years in a row. Sorry.
I love you. It's awesome. But it's okay. Other people can play football too.
You say we smell our own farts a little bit too much sometimes.
This guy was a starting quarterback at Washington State. He wasn't at Oklahoma Panhandle State. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Siskey, you remember that last guy that started at Washington State? And he transferred.
Yeah, he couldn't do it either. His name's Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
He's number one pick in the draft. He sucked too. He couldn't do it.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we doing? Like I get it. You better watch out now. If you're free, we play football. Like,
it just matters. It means
it means more. But like, he's coming with his coordinator, right? He's coming with his coordinator. That makes a difference.
Ben Arbuckle,
Yep. He's getting Ott at running back. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
They got the receivers back. That makes a difference. And hear about this. What was Oklahoma's biggest problem on offense last year?
O-line.
How many starters they got coming back this year?
They got them all coming back because they're injured and they're young and talented.
So I'm just saying, and like, you know what they're going to do on defense. They will score points on offense.
Yeah.
So
you're saying that a guy that threw for 3,000 yards and rushed for 1,000 yards, he ain't good?
Yeah. And so,
okay.
I think they're going to be good. Now, their schedule sucks. Okay?
No, okay. So that the next batch is 8.5. But since we've talked about them, I don't want to go back to them when we get to them. Oklahoma's at 6.5. I'm assuming a lot of that's
hammer it
over.
It's probably my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to jump out there and say I don't think they'll find a way.
Well,
I was hard on Florida last year and they figured it out. And I just believe when you have one of the better players, and I'm talking about John Mateer, the quarterback position, with his and again, when you transfer, most of the time, there's like this little window that you got to learn the system and get a. No, he's the one. When they do player-led practices, the PRPs, he's running it. He's running the entire system.
And they may have, and then like everybody, because they don't. Again, nobody watches any football outside of the SEC. The Jefferson Pilot game is about as far as they go. But this guy named Ott that plays running back maybe at the end of the year, maybe the best damn running back in the league.
Maybe.
Just saying.
They dipped in the portal and got another one. So we'll just see. We'll just see if they can play.
Man, they got beat Michigan in the non-con. But they're going to get Illinois State, Temple, Kent. They got to get Auburn at home. They get Ole Miss at home this year. They go to Tennessee, go to Bama back-to-back. That's a tough stretch. Then Mizzou, LSU. That's a tough one. But, I've heard from enough people that I know that are so high on Mateer and the offensive coordinator coming in. And like y'all said, Vanderbilt's going to have the defense. Guys, chalk that in. We're taking the over on Oklahoma.
That's my favorite one so far.
Well, let's get to the 8.5 group because there's several interesting names. A lot of people are high on LSU this year. They're in the 8.5 bracket.
They're not a 10-win team.
Smoke.
You said what?
They're
LSU 8.5.
I'm over on LSU.
You 10 win this year, so you think they're in the playoffs?
I think they may win the damn thing. They're legit.
Defense.
I think they're legit, but you know what? Let me get some controversy going. I think they're under that.
Ooh, Smoke,
yeah.
Smoke, you've been high on their defense, man, because of the coordinator. You feel like
that's 8-4, dog.
I think they're 8-4.
Ooh, Smoke. Losing Oxford. Okay. Well,
with the best quarterback in the league.
For 2 years,
and improved defensive players.
Yeah.
Their defensive roster is much improved.
I think their defensive roster is way improved. But here's why I have a problem. The guys that they got on defense that improved their roster, they were highly inconsistent, especially the guys up front.
Why they were
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying they're not talented, Siskey. I'm just saying if they were the try-hard group, and they got to find a way to get my man Perkins and Witt on the field at the same time. And I don't know why.
He's been a mystery for me.
He had Dylan Stewart type accolade after his freshman year. You thought he was going to be the best defensive player in college football for the next.
I think he is he should be studied as an example for all personnel people on the planet. There are some people that are see ball, hit ball. And you can't, just because you can go sack the quarterback doesn't mean you have the instincts and awareness to play inside backer.
He's not inside back
control.
Put his hand in and go.
He got himself had such bad gap discipline when they moved him inside. And it just wasn't. Now, maybe like you would like to see him, again, different system and all that stuff, but the kid's legitimately talented. Like he's like Micah Parsons kind of talented that he needs to be. Now, I don't know anything about the kid. Let me say this too. I don't know anything about his mental and all that stuff. If this guy understands defense and could be moved around like that, he would be the most impactful player on defense, even probably more so than Dylan Stewart. Because you can line him up at different places.
I agree with you in terms of the versatility. The impact.
Yeah, not talking about just line up edge rusher. I'm just talking about ability to move around and not knowing where he's coming from and messing up your protections. You'd always know what Dylan Stewart is. You can always set the protection his direction.
Right. Yeah. I just don't know why I feel that way about this team, but it's just something in my gut that says, nah.
And they may lose the first one. It don't matter. I got them over. I think they're the real deal.
The gate's tough. And they've struggled out of the gate in the
yeah. I mean, I got
I love Mateer. I mean, not Mateer. I love Nuss.
I'm biased on Nussmeier too, obviously, because I worked with his dad and I knew him as a kid. Love his family. His dad's awesome. You know, his wife and my wife are friends. I'm a big Nuss fan. We got little Nuss coming up too now. The myth, the legend. His brother's really good.
Well, and if people question, I hear a lot of people questioning like his arm or his ability. Look, I admitted Ole Miss fan here, so I watch more of that. Go watch the drive where he brought LSU down the field against Ole Miss, and good God, that kid's a damn he can make every play on the field, and he's more athletic than you realize.
It doesn't matter how strong your arm is; it's do you get it out quick, on time, and where it's supposed to go.
All right. Tennessee. I think I know where y'all are going with this. This is the 8.5 batch. Does Tennessee get 9 wins in this year?
I don't think so.
I think it's possible. It's unlikely.
Smoke under. A lot of these.
I would go under. I would go under as well. I think they're going to win. It's going to be a different type of winning from them. It's going to be running the football. It's going to be playing defense. I think there's going to be a lot. I think this is a team you can get on the under really, really early in the season.
Can I go on a rant real quick?
Yeah.
Can I go on a rant?
Are y'all good, man? I feel like I've kept you solo, man. I'm sorry.
That was the last one, Petty. I got to go on a rant real quick. My guy says. And explain to me, how does LSU get to 9? Knowing who they are as just a team, the last 3 years just looking at them and just studying them. How did they get? I love Nuss. I think Nuss is the best quarterback in the SEC, period, right now. I love who they brought over in the transfer portal. The Anderson boys, the receiver, Aaron and Nick, and you got Barryon Brown. Offensive line, I think, is solid enough. I'm not a big fan of their interior. I know they lost both their tackles. But it's just always something. Talent is there. I love Patrick that they got out of out of Florida State. Jack Pyron being the try-hard edge player. Mansour Delane, the corner out of Virginia Tech, DMV kid. DJ Pickett, a young, talented guy. But it never feels right with them. It's always something.
Well, I'm going to just go super common sense on you right here.
Go ahead.
They were 8-4 last year, and I think they've improved themselves at least one game.
Okay.
That brings us to our next team.
Hey, that's about that. Hey, you know your boy likes the KISS principle, right?
Yeah.
I think they've improved themselves on defense. Their quarterback's a year older. I think they're at least one game better than they were last year.
Even though they lost to the better offensive lineman in the country.
I will. How about this though? Here's the thing though. We talked about this a little bit today with AJ. Everybody else has too. If you look at that, offensive line is getting worse and worse and worse. Lots of teams struggling with O-line and D-line, return.
Yeah. Okay, this is a great segue. Eric says Nuts can't handle the pressure. Once again, I say go back and watch the Ole Miss game, who, by the way, had the #1 defense in the SEC, #3 in the country. They were bringing hell on that dude's ass, and he was getting away from it, making play after play.
He's the best quarterback in the league. If I got
one,
I'm taking it.
The logic you just used, they're better in one game, so that's why they're one game better. Ole Miss had arguably their best roster ever since the Hugh Freeze era, at least, and they got 9 wins. They've got Ole Miss at 8.5. You got them. So by that logic, going under.
Yeah, I got them. I think their schedule's a little bit friendly. It really is.
They get in the league.
They play, preseason wise, if you look at it, they play Kentucky, Arkansas, and Mississippi State on their schedule.
Yep.
Other 5 games, I think, will have better rosters than they will.
So you put their non-con, that's 7 if they win those.
Yeah, that's what I think they're. I don't look. They're replacing 17 starters. They're replacing every single person they have up front. They're replacing every single person in the secondary. They have 2 starters returning an inside backer. Offensive line-wise, they're replacing 4 or 5. Wide receiver, they're replacing 2 or 3. Running back.
What about the quarterback? This is the first rounder.
Yeah, they lost. But here's the thing, right? So that's where I was going, right? Is so, they lost 8 plus, okay? Because they 8 draft picks, and I think they got 1, maybe 2 that were free agents that are going to make teams. So they call it 8 plus. Because I think Ivy will
he'll figure a way.
He'll find a spot, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't really like the portal. Here's the thing I think you're going to see this year. This is my big experiment that I want to see this year, and it's not. And Ole Miss is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the portal was as fruitful this year because of rev share coming in and allowed teams that didn't have money to retain the players that they wanted to retain. Mm. And so schools were not able to go out. If you look at it's a very interesting experiment. You should go look at last year's portal class, like just go on 3 or 247 and look at the 1 through whatever and compare it to this year's.
There wasn't a Walter Nolan in this year's.
They got Princely. They got Princely. And then the thing that Lane had, to his credit, the thing that Lane did a really good job of is he got some multi-year transfer guys with Jackson Dart, with Trey Harris. And he got last year, he got Amos from South Alabama, got drafted. He got Walter Nolan. He got.
I think to your point, I'm not talking Ole Miss. There wasn't a Walter Nolan in the portal, period.
No,
there wasn't guys at that level.
No, there wasn't anybody. Like they just didn't have the replacement there. Now, here's the thing is they do, since Pete Golding has got there, this will make all the Alabama fans have a good time. I think Pete is awesome. Okay.
Pete and West Neighbors, baby.
I don't give it.
Don't tell. Hey, his boy Marvin disagrees vehemently.
Yeah, I think Pete's one of the best coaches in the country. I don't give a shit. Like I think he was at Alabama like at the start of the RPO era, and so people thought that he was supposed to be shutting out everybody every week. But Pete's one of the best in the business, and he's a phenomenal recruiter, phenomenal evaluator. It's what's funny to me is all the Alabama fans spent all this time running him off, but the greatest coach that ever lived wanted to make sure he kept him, right? So whatever, listen to the fans. Don't listen to the greatest to ever do it.
Marvin.
Yeah, don't ever listen to the greatest to ever do it. Let's listen to the fans, right?
Siskey, I think the combination of Pete and West Neighbors, because I think.
Yeah, I love West. I saw West a couple weeks ago.
Did you go up to him on vacation up there at the Cape?
I saw him at the grocery store.
Okay.
Small town, boss.
Oh, I forgot. You both are. Yeah, I just spoke to West.
It'll blow your mind who I run into at the grocery store here. It's like it's wild. I see. Y'all don't know him, but Kane's dad, Dave Womack.
Yeah, I
don't know what it is. I see Dave Womack every time I go to the grocery store. Every time.
Y'all are getting out of the house on purpose.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's a stud, though.
So we got Ole Miss going 8-4. Both y'all got the under. Y'all mark that in. We got 2 more on this one. Going to try to move it. Man, I feel bad like I'm keeping, but I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I hope y'all.
You are, but you got 7 minutes with smoke until I start charging you.
Put it on my bill.
Okay.
So, I feel like Rocky, the one good line in Rocky 5, the one everybody hates. I always love this.
They had a 5?
Sue me for what? Sue me for what? All right, Michigan. 8-5. They're at the 8-5 mark. Now there's half the Big Ten, like we talked about earlier, is 10.5. They think Penn State, Oregon, and Ohio State are going to run it again. Did they get back? They were low-key bad last year, other than the Ohio State win.
Or the Alabama win?
That was 2 years ago. Oh well, that last year. Yeah. Well,
Bama bowl game. Bowl game. Yeah. You forgetting that?
I have them under, and I will tell you why. There's only been 2 true freshmen starting quarterbacks that have led their teams to 10-win seasons?
One of them was it Oklahoma's quarterback in 80.
No, I'm like, hey, in the
modern.
When people that listen to the show were live, and one of them was Jalen Hurts. The other one was Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I'm going with history here and saying taking the under.
I'm going to common sense to say under.
I got it. All right. Last one in the 8.5 batch. I think I heard Siskey. And look, this is one that I think is the hardest to pick every year because when you look at them on paper, the talent is there at every damn position. It seems like they maybe have the coaching settled, but they find a way to be Texas 8-4. But Siskey likes these guys. He loves Marcel Reed. He likes Elko. But of course you do. They always look good on paper. Sell me, Siskey, 8.5. Why am I taking the over on the fighting milkman cheerleader Aggies?
All right. Look, I can't. I'm going to be the guy, right? I do this every year. I get my ass burned every year. But it's not fair for me to evaluate rosters and then just throw them out because what they didn't do last year.
History. Yeah.
I will probably get burned again, and that's fine. I'll be the guy. That's fine. But it's literally like they check all the boxes for me. I mean, every team in the conference would trade for their O-line. They got the players, they got the coaches, they got the resources. If I was to talk you into it, I would say one thing that will be interesting for me is you got Marcel Reed. It's going to be the off-season starter, and it makes a difference with how you game plan around that. They play catch up. They try to play catch up and add quarterback runs and do things that wasn't really designed for him when he took over. I'm not saying this guy's freaking Johnny Manziel, but it does make a difference when you can suit the offense around him. I'll be the guy. I'll do it. But it's just not right for me to say the only reason I say that they're not is because of what they've done in the past. Because especially in this era, what you did last year doesn't make shit.
Right. I'm an A&M fan. I'm a Coach Elko believer. I like what they've done, addressing needs in the portal. I don't think people understand that Marcel came in. He wasn't even a starter last year. He just came in and he was just playing. He was just playing football. Now, Coach's kid, I know him. I like his temperament. I like his ability. I think the game's slowing down for him. Towards the end of the year, I'm going to go, all that to say, I'm going to go over. I like it now. Yeah, I like
it just be me and Smoke that everybody makes fun of. That's
because look, Daddy always told me to ride a heater. I'm betting Georgia until they don't do it. I'm betting against A&M until they do it. So
I can't argue. I don't argue. I don't argue with people that go opposite of that opinion. I kind of, it's like when you already know that you're going to lose. You know what I mean? It's like when you were at Arkansas State. You're all fired up that you're going to play Alabama. Really what the outcome is going to be, but there is this hope.
There's small hope. Okay, look, I'm going back to page 12 for one of the prop bets. And now that our boy Greg McElroy has made everybody in our industry's life hell for the next foreseeable football season.
Under.
What is the over-under that we hear Saban is coming back to football every weekend? I'm setting it at 40. We're going to hear it every week. Every broadcast, you're going to hear someone mention it, right? Or does it die? Does it die on the vine?
Forget going over and under. Siskey and I are going to have we're going to recap our conversation when I called him. I think you were on the way to drop your son off to the airport when we talked about is Nick coming back. And he said, Smoke, not a shot. And I said, there's a chance.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
Oh, okay. Y'all had the debate. Let's hear it.
I don't know if it was a debate. I think it was just an educated person, Siskey, and a person that just likes to just say, you know what, I'm going to go against everything that you're saying because I believe there is a chance. Whatever that number is, I believe that Nick is coaching in the 2026 season. That's what I will say. Who? I don't know. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Just because I have a hunch. And I'll just go with my hunch. I just believe that, he'll be back.
I will say this. I know I know Greg didn't make that up.
That's my thing. Is
all right.
Greg
I know he didn't. Yeah, I know he didn't make it up. I don't think he intended for it
to do this,
to blow up. Right. I know he didn't make it up. I don't see it. I don't. I mean, like for me, it's like, okay, all right, let's just go down the route. Let's go with Smoke on Smoke side right here. Mm-hmm. If he decides to come back
mm-hmm.
and coach, where, like, coach like I do,
mm-hmm.
Where's what college program is set up resource wise for him at 74 years old? Because he ain't coming. Look, coach ain't coming back because he wants to coach Indo.
No.
Okay. Coach is coming back. If he wants to come back, it's because he wants to win. Okay. So what program resource wise in today's football is that
USC.
Realistic? Right. And so for me, I don't think so. But I will say this. In the event that he does decide to do it, I'll fucking unretire. I'll go do it again.
Hey, listen. What Siskey?
I love the guy,
right?
Like, I don't give a shit what everybody says. I like the guy.
Siskey just said early in the program. I just did business with billionaires, and he's willing now to give up the billionaire great platform that you have with your Quick You.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really give it up. I just sign it over to the wife and let her and let.
I'm just saying, staying at the house and running around to the grocery store and seeing coaches every day in Oxford,
playing golf,
and wherever Nick is at, you'll come out of retirement, get that laptop out, and start the spreadsheet.
I would 100%. I love the guy. I mean, like, I wish some people, you get a glimpse of it a little bit on game day. You know what I mean? You get a glimpse of it, but I love the guy. I think he's fucking hilarious.
I think both of you guys are coming back.
Man, that went a lot better than I expected it. All right, I'm gonna get y'all through this. I swear.
We're just killing your outline over there. We're just destroyed it.
I don't like my give a shit meter.
He knew that we did this to a long time ago.
As long as the fans are happy and y'all are here with me, let's effing rock.
We got this outline.
Well, I had this outline. I didn't know we were going to get into stories like that when I did my Nick Saban over and under, and I'm not stopping that shit. So that's the way it rolls.
For the record, I don't think he's coming back.
Ooh, Siskey says he is definitely not. Mark it down. No. Says he'll be back in 2026.
No, I just don't.
For the record, I have this much water, and I'm not going to suffer from dehydration. You better get them out.
You're Jamaican. I know you can handle it, man. All right. North Carolina over under 7.5. Can Bill Belichick do it at this level with no Brady?
Under.
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know. I am a big Lombardi fan. I think he's really good at his job. Obviously Belichick. And then I will tell you this, Gio Lopez, the real deal now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Transfer from South Alabama. I think he's the real deal. I just don't know. Like, they have totally like they're one of the teams that's very difficult for me to figure out, good or bad. I don't know.
It's just so weird. It's all the offseason stuff was more about everything else, about players not having numbers and names and the girlfriend bullshit and all that. You don't really hear any of the football side of it, other than, like you said, Jill, I got the kid from South Al, which people didn't realize. South Al had several. The Fluff kid that went to state was a hell of a young running back. They had some good young.
They lost 6 starters after spring practice.
That sucks.
Under
Smoke going. All right. Auburn 7.5. What do we think? Does Freeze get it done with Jackson Arnold? And the schedules in SEC terms is pretty favorable.
I'm going 8 wins, Auburn.
Ooh,
I'm going Auburn over. I think they're 8-4 with a possible 10-2. And this is the year that they either beat Georgia or Alabama or both.
Damn. Woo. Siskey, did you do the over-under on North Carolina? I might have. North Carolina. Did you say
push? I don't know.
Push, don't know. I thought
I went under.
You went under.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know.
but we're both over on Auburn. I actually agree with you guys. I think there's two teams that are the kind of dark horses in the SEC this year. I think it's Oklahoma and I think it's Auburn. I would say Florida if their schedule wasn't so damn dumb.
They're going to be Auburn if
look,
he likes his. I know Hugh very well. He likes his team. He doesn't do it, but he's not the guy that likes his team every year. He likes them a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
So you pretty honest in that regard?
To me.
Okay. One that's kind of everybody's darling because, hey, they had the best young defensive player in the fucking all of football last year, and Norris Sellers really took it by storm. But people aren't paying attention. They lost a lot off that defensive line. They lost a first-round defensive back. So maybe Vegas sees this and everybody else. Vegas has South Carolina sitting at 7.5. Over under, fellas.
Man.
So you're saying you're going 8? You saying you're going 8-4?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think it's 7.5 is the right number. It's either 7 or 5. I think 7.5 is the right number.
I think that's the right one.
That's a tough one for me. I think Vegas got that one right. You're losing 6 of your front 7 that are coming back. Dylan Stewart. They do have 3 really good DBs coming back, but the one they're missing is a first-round pick.
Yeah, it was a
lot of people forget that defense carried them while Norris Sellers grew up a little bit last year.
And that O-line ain't it?
Yeah, and then offensively, they got some guys replaced too, right? So it's like
Sanders had a very good year after people forgot about him because of his injuries. He was really damn good last year for them.
So was that offensive line.
And a lot of things here's the interesting part with South Carolina that I'll be interested to see is like, all right, moving forward, they had to invest a lot of money to keep Dylan Stewart and Lenore Sellers. Like how much, and you're going to replace all these other guys, Kennard and safety and all that. Like how much money you got left to spend on other dudes, right? So it's
they push a ton of Nick Harbor too.
Yeah, Nick Harbor. There's a lot there. Like so, it'd be interesting to see. I'm kind of curious. I don't think the AJ is really high on them. I'm not. I think they're. I mean, like super ceiling is 9 wins for me, but I can also see it going. And like, here's the thing, right? I'll say this. Same thing we talked about with Lagway. What happened to Florida when Lagway went down against Georgia?
Nothing. They
got smoked, and then they turned around and played Texas and got smoked because he didn't play. What happens to South Carolina if Lenore Sellers doesn't play?
I saw what happened.
But like people are going to get hurt. It may not be like long-term injuries, but high ankle sprains or something like that. I mean, you're talking about a big difference in your football team.
I think they're good. I think Vegas is in on this one. I think they're pretty.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's a really good number.
That's a good number.
All right. Back to page 12. Hollywood Ryan Williams. We were reminded at least every 10 minutes that he was 17. How many times a game are we going to be reminded that the kid is now only 18 years old? I'm setting it at 1.5 a game.
I think they're done talking about that.
Yeah, I think that's.
I don't think you can talk about a second-year player and mention his age anymore.
A second-year player that catches 39 balls, I think they're done.
Yeah.
I think y'all are both wrong. I think we'll get the over on that every game. I think these commentators are dumbasses. And oh man, y'all know he's now only 18 in his second year.
No, I don't think they say that. 17 sounds good. 18 sophomore, who cares? There's a bunch of them.
All right, I got 2 interesting ones at the 6.5. One of them's Florida. We've talked about them a lot tonight. Their schedule is so damn daunting. Y'all both okay, man? Both over. Everybody lock that in. When they both do that, I'm literally going to Vegas and banking it in. Colorado, Prime loses his sons. He loses Travis. Okay, really? Siskey, you've always been kind of tough on Coach out there.
I'm not tough on him. I'm just.
Hey, but here's the thing: is everybody says I'm tough on him. When have I ever been wrong about him?
No, you're right.
People don't. Here's the problem: like everybody calls you a hater. No, it's called facts.
Facts.
Like it's facts.
What was their record last year?
They were like 500 and 500 went to the bowl game and got blown out by a conference team in the Alamo Bowl.
Okay.
He's like 12 and 13, I think, in the games or something.
Yeah. I don't think you get better when you lose NFL starters.
Well, you lost the best player in college football, and you can say, and this is not even hating. Shedeur Sanders is going to play in the NFL.
He's a starter. And when, I don't know, but he's going to at some point.
Here's my deal with all kidding aside, is the kid that they're replacing him with, Salter from Liberty, I'm out. I've seen him. Like he lost me when they played Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State hadn't won a game. They lose. Liberty loses to Kennesaw State. He fumbled, like there was a ball on the ground. He could have picked up and tried to do something with it, and he was going to get hit, and he decided to kick the ball out of bounds instead of picking it up. Like it's like throwing hitches in the cover too. When you throw up your skirt, I'm done with you.
Keep going. I'm gonna stay blank on that one.
Well, you know what I mean. You throw up your skirt, I'm done with you.
Speaking
grown ass man game. If you're not gonna be a grown ass man, I'm out on you.
Speaking of skirts, back to page 12. It's no secret that being a college quarterback doesn't necessarily suck. Brent Musburger famously said it about your boy AJ. Hey, every young man's gonna be picking up a football now when they spotted the girlfriend in the stands. How many co-eds stop Arch Manning when he's crossing campus a week to take a selfie? I'm putting the over-under at 10.
Under. He probably doesn't go to class.
Oh, I knew you were going to pull that virtual school. Let's make believe this is the olden days of 1999 when kids went to class live like my boy Smoke. When Smoke was getting stopped by people with flip phones for selfies.
Nah, is it that big of a fandom type deal? Or kids
Smoke, let's put it LSU. Let's make no mistake. LSU football is life or death in that state. The Manning Passing Academy is in Louisiana. Arch roomed with Gus Nussmeier, a first-round draft pick of the LSU Tigers. They went to Walmart together, and everybody was stopping Arch for pictures. And Gus was over there like, "Hey guys, I'm LSU's #1 draft pick quarterback." It's that serious, Smoke.
I think what I'm factoring, and I think Siskey's factoring in as well too, is they've seen him for the last 3 years.
I don't think it matters.
The last 2 years, maybe.
Austin's a different city, man.
Okay, so if he is actually walking across campus, you're going under, Siskey? Under 10?
I'm going under.
I'm going under. I think he's famous, but he's like famous. It's like a famous cousin. Like you're not going to take a.
All right, we got two more. One more serious. One more from page 13. And I'm just pulling these out. One, because the helmet's behind you. They've made a lot of noise. Diego Pavia's made a lot of predictions this year, but Vegas still thinks Vandy's Vandy 5.5 under.
Yeah.
He just thumbs down.
I think they got it right. I think last year you don't win a bunch of games, close games, and then come back the next year and you're better.
Lee's your boy. You don't think they find 6 on their schedule?
I think Clark Lee is one of the better coaches in the SEC. That has nothing to do with my opinion on how many games that they win. Like I think he's one of the best. I don't think they sneak up on people.
Much like South Carolina, who's gotten a lot of postseason love, I think Vegas is really smart on some of these, and I think that's one where they put it at 5-5, and everyone's like, "Oh man, Vandy and Diego." I think they'll get a lot of people to pop that over, and Vandy made Vandy.
They made the worst mistake. Like this is not the league to start writing checks. You know what I mean? Like you can't sneak up on anybody. Like give you an example. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, I do not care what Vegas puts the line on. When Vandy goes to Tuscaloosa, I'm taking Alabama and laying the points. Like you don't poke the bear. The best of Vanderbilt, you got to be quiet. You got to sneak up on people, keep it a close game, and hope the ball bounces your way. I would not be. It's like Castellanos down at Florida State. Just go play the game, man. Just go play. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, not necessary. It's not necessary. But I don't think Vandy started the whole Bama drama. I think the Bama guy started and they just answered.
Well, no, I'm saying you just don't say nothing.
Yeah, you just go in there and just play ball.
Just go play. Shut up and play. I can't tell you what I really say to them, but that's what shut up and play is the PG version.
Yeah.
And here's one that caught my eye because It's the lowest in the SEC. And I do think State's returning a little more than people give them credit. I think Shapen is a better player than gets credit. They got some receivers, but Mississippi State's at 3.5. That means you don't win any. Now, their non-con consists of Arizona State, who was in the playoffs last year. So that means if they don't beat Arizona State, they've got to win one of their SEC games. Do you think so? I think that's way low. Over?
I think it's way low. I think what I would hammer the over here. I think they were really good. They were really young, extremely young on both sides of the ball. And they are a team that rev share is going to help because they're going to be able to maintain guys. I think Blake – I'm a big Jeff Lebby guy. And I think one thing that's hurting this number right now is everybody looks at the past. Let me tell you what Mississippi State's problem was last year is that was Jeff Lebby was the 5th coach in 8 seasons.
Yeah.
You got, we sit here and talk about building programs. 5th coach in 8 seasons. And when you have an immediate eligibility year we got going on right now, that's tough on any team. I think Lebby's the right guy for the job. I'm a Jeff Lebby fan. I will say that. I love the guy. I think he's awesome. He's a really good dude. I think he's the right guy for the job. I think they win more than that. I think I would hammer that, actually.
I think Vegas got this one right. It's tough. Winning in the SEC is tough.
Here's the thing, though. This is why I say over, is they can score points. They're going to be able to score points.
So they open up on the road at Southern Miss, who – Southern's not what they once were, but that's going to be a school.
They got a new staff too.
Going to play with everything they got. The problem is you got Alcorn and Northern Illinois, but like I said, then you got Arizona State as one of your non-cons.
Where's that game?
It's in Starkville.
What's that to be a 2:30 game in September? Just saying.
It's a 7:30 game.
They've already named it.
They've already named it.
They screwed them.
And State's got to go to Arkansas, which is one you would think would be a toss-up for them.
No, that ain't no.
They got to go to Missouri, which, man, Drinkowitz is probably the most underrated coach in the conference.
Drinks don't crush him.
I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough. Vegas got it. Smoke says under.
Smoke.
He's going over.
All
right.
Smoke's mad at the cowbell still ringing. He's worse than Ole Miss fans on Mississippi State over there.
No, I'm just telling you my hunch. I think that Vegas got this one dead on it, man.
I think they win 5 or 6 games at minimum.
All right, 5 to 6.
All right. Final one, and maybe the best one in Vegas.
Hey, just remember, everybody was like, I'm just telling you, Florida State was going to be good last year too, right?
Not me. You wouldn't have got me to say anything. That was DJU.
They got FSU at 7.5. That's one I had on.
Brother, it can't. I don't know. Like they replaced the whole damn team. I don't know. I do think Castellanos, as crazy as he is a good fit with Gus.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't.
The thing. Gus is a great play caller, and Smoke sent me something from the Castellanos that kind of took it further. He was talking with Isaiah Horton. He said, "Look, man, I'm going to a team that's 2-10." I had to kind of put a little bit.
I mean, it got blown out. You just don't.
I think what Siskey
I get it.
Siskey said he don't even believe it. He's just saying it so others can believe it.
He don't believe it, right? His is a little bit different. Like Diego, he believes his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, he really does believe
it. He believes it. Like that dude's on a whole different planet. You know what I mean? Like Diego Pavia, and I love Diego. By the way, I love Diego Pavia. I want to preface that with this. He's a fun player to watch. He makes watching Vandy fun.
He makes Vandy watchable.
And it's been a long time. Okay, so shout out to him. With that being said, he reminds me of when I was at Alabama, and I was doing, I would have to do all the walk-ons and stuff. And we had a kid come in there. I will never forget this as long as I live. It's literally like 2 weeks in the middle of fall camp. Kid walks in the door. He wants to walk on. 2 weeks into camp. He's like, if you let me walk on right now, I will be the starting corner when we go to College Station. That was like week 2 that year. I looked at him. I was like, bro.
Marlon Humphrey?
I was like, so I pulled up his stuff, and this guy's like, no joke. He's like 5. I could eat peanuts off his head. He's like 5'5". He was like $145, and he ran like a 4.97. And I'm like, I said, so you're better than Marlon Humphrey. I'm going to put you in the game to sit Marlon Humphrey on the bench. Yes, sir. Like, that's who Diego, like, you get these dudes. Hey, Smoke, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He watched.
You get these dudes that want to walk on that have this, like, they're so confident that you're like, dude, you're talking about starting. I'm trying to keep you from dying. You know what I mean? Like,
well, look, Rudy might have some myth in the movie, but that was a real dude that went and killed himself. There's those dudes that have that. He probably watched that and came in your office and was like, all right,
it was wild. But yeah, that's how Diego Pavia is to me.
Listen, self-awareness is a fatal flaw if you don't have it. You'll get killed by not having any of that stuff. Eat enough.
Self-awareness. It's a good way to go into my favorite one and the last one on our over-under. I'm going to have to preface this. I am going to one Alabama game this year, the Vanderbilt game. The question is, how many Denny dogs will Daniel Pettey eat this year? I'm setting over-under at 3.
Oh.
All right, I'm embarrassed to tell you this. I don't even know what a fucking Denny dog is.
Me neither.
That's the question. It's a trick question at 0 because those bastards took it out 5 years ago. Alabama hadn't won a title since they took the real Denny dog out. Here's the problem. You'll go to the stadium.
What is it?
And it says Denny dog, and now it's just a plain effing hot dog. A Denny dog is a special. Let me tell you what it is, Siskey. It's a special concoction of mustard, ketchup, and kraut that I'm pretty sure they put in a vat.
That sounds
It would sit there all off season and ferment. And then when the season rolls around, they would put it on a hot dog, smush it together, and it made the greatest damn hot dog concoction in college and all of sports. And you could tell when people were eating the Denny dog in certain parts of the stadium because aromas would arise. But the Denny dog with the mixture it had on it was the perfect stadium hot dog. And those assholes took it from us like 5 years ago. And now there's like, I went to my first game in like 3 years and it said Denny dog. And I was like, fuck yeah, baby, let's roll. And it was some plain ass hot dog. And I had a legit meltdown, like carrying meltdown in the middle of the damn line. And then I was informed by somebody tapped me on the shoulder like, hey, where you been, buddy? They hadn't had them in like 3 years. No, Bama hasn't won a national title since they took the Denny dogs out of the stadium, and that's what it is. I swear it's what has probably rotted my gut. But it's the greatest hot dog.
There's not a lot of things on this planet that I won't eat. Sauerkraut. You lost me there, dog.
I'm not a kraut fan. I'll never put it on anything. I'll eat it on the damn Denny dog.
That's disgusting. I just want to let you know that.
You gotta have a barrel of liquor, cheap liquor to absorb all that. I'm good.
Yeah, look, I eat some shit now. I ain't eating that.
And literally, he'll eat that.
I've seen you on camera at high school football games eating some
I've eaten some bad shit now. I've eaten some. You go to enough home visits and stuff. I've eaten some bad shit. That right there.
You're making a face. I'm telling you, my wife, who is women, they don't eat shit. She'll hammer down a Denny dog.
That's disgusting.
After how many drinks?
Well, it took a lot just to, that's a whole nother story.
That's what I'm saying.
Siskey, we've taken so much of your time tonight. We've done another Bret Hart episode. You got time for a couple of questions?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
I believe Crimson Yo says, Siskey, do you know where Chocolata? Thank you.
Yeah, that's right next. That's right in my hometown, Anniston, Oxford. That's right there, Chocolata.
Is it
one now? It would be what direction? That'd be west.
Is that on the mountain over there?
It's all in the valley.
Okay.
Right at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Calhoun County.
Tough as nails, who loves to give Smoke grief, but he's being nice tonight. He's asked about Emory Bellard earlier. Question for Tyler: biggest coaching tip you learned from Coach Saban?
Probably decision making. Probably, the way to probably the one biggest takeaway I got from him, besides, there's a bunch, right? Organization, all that stuff, but being able to talk through big decisions based on the consequences and don't just do it one at a time. Go, okay, hey, if I make this decision, this is going to happen. If that happens, this is going to happen, and so on and so forth down the line. And it allows you really kind of focuses you on making the right decision on big decisions.
Good stuff. Tough as nails with another one. This one will get smoked. This will be the one that gets smoked right up. Would Ohio State fired Ryan Day last year if he wouldn't have won the championship?
No.
Even after all the Michigan losses? Are we back to the buyout thing though, right?
People are so ate up with rivalries and shit that they this isn't 1982. The only thing that's 1982 right now is college personnel departments, because we still got head coaches making decisions.
It's only one SEC coach doing that.
All right. So, so at the end of the day, like, what's the goal of the year? What are you supposed to do? What's the goal?
Win the Natty.
Win it.
Okay. Well, I think they've checked all those boxes there.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is if they had a coach in waiting, if Chip Kelly would say, you know what, I'll do it, I think they would move on from Ryan if they didn't do it.
Would you move on from Ryan Day to Chip Kelly?
Ignorance sometimes works for some people, and I think that would have been an upset decision that somebody would have made at the end of the season if they would have lost to Tennessee in the opening game, opening week of the playoffs. I think it probably could have happened.
Yeah, if it went back to back, there'd be enough there probably. But yeah. I will.
Because
people were putting all their eggs in the Mike Vrabel basket that didn't get answered.
The rhetoric got really crazy there after that Michigan week, and it got. I mean, it was nuts. And then you beat Tennessee, and again the microwave society we live in, everything's south.
And I think you said it, Siskey. Knowing who was available, Chip, Braves.
Yeah, what are you getting that's better? Is the question. I pulled this up. It wasn't a question, but it's something that I've kind of talked about jokingly, but not really jokingly. If you pay attention to golf and the LIV and what they've done to that sport, Lance Hunter, I think, brings up a great point. Wait till Rice gets a Saudi Prince investor, new dynasty. I don't think that's crazy. If you drive up A1 from Pompano to West Palm, I'm assuming some of those compounds are from freaking Saudi people. And I have joked the two biggest colleges in the state of Florida aren't Florida State, Miami, or Florida. It's USF and UCF. I ask you, and FIU's the next. What happens when some Saudi investor that decided to take golf over says, this college football thing's a pretty big money industry over in the USA.
Doesn't matter. I mean, under the system that we're in right now, it doesn't matter at all.
They don't allow them to do it.
But are we really playing by those rules, guys? Come on, man. We're going to go back to the blue chip days.
I think they're getting closer and closer and closer to playing by whatever the rev share market value is to each team. I think that's what we're going to go to. I think the number's going to be.
Can you telling me that the yellow, whoever, the big boosters of the world, let's go to the blue chips that aren't going to find ways around that?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
I am.
Coach Sark made a great statement today, and I think when coaches start bringing it to the forefront, that's what they really want, of having a penalty for people that aren't abiding by the rules. And now that you can really track the money, I think it's easier to track and penalize teams for going over the cap. And if that's taking away scholarship, whatever the punishment is, I don't think a lot of teams are going to do it, and I think we are going to go to that. So the Saudi Prince investor thing, back in the day to your university facilities, but not in the pockets of players.
There's a lot of miss, and I'm not telling Smokey anything he doesn't know, but there's a lot of misnomers right now because so many teams that were wealthy front-loaded their rosters. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so when you front-load your roster, like I know teams that front-loaded their entire roster. Okay, so when you're looking at these teams, you're like, oh, they're going over the cap. No, they're really not, because what they did is prior to July 1st, they paid for their entire 2025 team is already paid for, like zero, balance of zero. All right. They're getting $13.5 million right now. That's the average. Some are going more, some are going less, but that's the average. All right. They're going to use that 13.5 on recruiting. Okay. For the 2026 team. Okay. And retention of their 2026 team. Correct. So if you look for teams like Auburn that are not doing well in recruiting, it's because they got a lot coming back that they're going to have to pay to retain. Guys that are spending a lot of money in recruiting are losing a lot of guys that they're not going to have to retain. Then next August, they're going to get another, or July 1st, they're going to get another 13.5 or whatever it is. And so next year's roster is going to have $27 million on it.
So they're trying to pay
13.5. And so where you're not going to feel the effects of this until 2027.
Interesting. God, that's good stuff, Tyler. Good stuff, man. And again, so maybe I guess to the point of this, maybe 4 or 5 years ago when this first started, but now no go. Tyler, I think this is a great question actually to end this on, because I'm interested where you go with this. I think it can go several ways. One, I know about your time at Ole Miss, but I believe Crimson Yo's this question. Siskey, what was the hardest lesson you had to learn from coaching?
That the no matter how loyal you are to a school, they will never love you back the same way.
Well said.
That's probably the toughest lesson, because you feel pressure sometimes. They make it pressure, like when you're, hey, this school's calling you and wants you to go there, and they try to hit you with the loyalty strings and all that stuff. They'll be the first people to fire your ass when something happens. And the loyalty is a one-way street. Fans don't understand that. It's like, what's my guy at Kentucky that just left to go Louisville, Morrow?
Yep.
Like, Kentucky fans are wearing his ass out for going to Louisville. But if they fired Stoops at the end of the year, they'd be kicking his ass out the door, and they wouldn't, and they would be unapologetic for it. So probably the toughest lesson is understanding that your loyalty lies at the house. That's it.
Good stuff. I believe Crimson. No problem. Thanks for asking such a great question. Last one on the night, just because I think, Smoke, everybody likes your shirt. Has a part to do because you fill it out like damn He-Man with your muscles over there.
You got that schmedium on over there.
He's got him and Marvin goes to Gap and buys like you small, so everybody on the shows now starting to get tighter shirts to try to keep up.
I drink too much beer to do that. I used to gotta go extra large.
You know what? No, I did not attend Alabama A&M. I attended the University of Alabama, but my good buddies are over there. Sam Shade, the head coach, Dennis Alexander, the offensive coordinator and O-line coach, pass game coordinator and receiver coach, Antonio Carter, my best friend and college roommate.
AC.
Antonio Carter.
Yeah. Oh,
no AC.
So you know why I stay out of trouble, because he's never in it either.
Yeah, you the ring.
But yeah. So and you know what, Siskey, all these guys always give me a hard time about the size of my shirt and how it fits my body, but I never say anything about guys that wear shirts that show their robust, rotund stomachs. Like guys that wear shirts to show off their belly, I don't say nothing about it.
Yeah, brother. I quit trying to wear those schmediums when I started drinking too much Diet Millers. You know what I mean? So I kind of let it. You know, it's
you just let it free fall and just kind of just do what it do.
Yeah, I'm still strong, but I mean, I lost. You know, I went from a six pack to a half case. You know what I mean?
The numbers count in that game. The numbers count in that game.
Ain't no doubt.
Tyler, man, we appreciate your time.
You
I didn't get you the song. You are always so good to the program, coming over and spending your time with us, which we know is a valuable resource when the Braves are playing.
They won tonight, by the way.
We don't even have to do a show. We don't got to do a show next week, Petty, because we can just chop this in half.
Yeah, cut it in half. Now you got two.
You got two.
Siskey, now I know you got the McCready and Siskey podcast. You got at Mac 10 Mondays with AJ. You are now with 24/7 Sports. There's been a big change up. Are you not? I thought. Explain, where are you at? Where can we find you other than Quick You doing the NIL? The Neil and Siskey show. I go on their board just because Neil and Chase are on MPW and I participate from time to time. But no, I do not get a single cent from 247.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, I don't get a single cent from there. I do post on their. They did give me a free account. That's about as far as that went. So they gave me. I guess technically, I got to pay taxes on that $16 a year. You know what I mean? So I guess there's that. But no, MPW Digital, McCready and Siskey Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, in that order. So, yeah, we're doing that. And then Quick You. And then because nobody here is listening that besides Smoke even knows what that is. But, hey,
go back to the beginning of the show and you give a very good breakdown of what Quick You is and how it is going to be a part of the future of college football with GMs such as
it's a current.
It's now. It's here. Yeah, it's happening now. I mean, your clients are Kirby at Georgia, Dabo at Clemson. I mean, you got some of the biggest clients.
Mike Loxley at Maryland.
Yep.
Smoke Dixon. Listen, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, you know, it's good stuff, and kind of what Smoke said. Basically, what I did when I started is I took everything that was a pain in my ass and I fixed it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it just saves everybody a bunch of time, makes everybody more efficient in recruiting, and And even regardless, it's the one cool thing, regardless of how many systems we change, you still got to evaluate. You know what I mean? So it's kind of no matter what system we go to, you still got to evaluate.
Well, Tyler, as always, we appreciate your time.
You bet, brother.
Join us during the season at some point. Come back and we'll get you back during the season. I'll come say some sweet nothings to you. Smoke, where can we find you, buddy?
Well, me?
Yeah, you.
Me. Mondays here.
The good-looking guy up in the top.
Oh, that guy. Got you. God. You can find me here Mondays, my man, Pettey. Sometimes Siskey pop in and give us a 2.5 hour and 34 minutes, 28 seconds of nothing but greatness. Tomorrow, you get me, my man, with Marvin, Steve Brown, Stephen M. Smith, and Justin Riley, our boss on the Bama Standard. Who we got tomorrow? We got
Slade Bolden coming back with us tonight. Did you coach Slade, Siskey?
No, he was there right after I left.
Right after. The Sultan of the slot, big game catch guy. So we'll get some questions and answers. Y'all got to come back tomorrow, man. Tomorrow, I guarantee you we won't be this good this long, but it'll be another great one.
No, it's going to be another great one. Again, as always, we appreciate your time. It's the most precious commodity. We really appreciate Tyler coming on. We will definitely get him back because we know you fans love when he's on here. But again, check us out tomorrow on the Bama Standard at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Slade Bolden coming back. See you guys tomorrow.
Sultan of the slot.
Sultan of the slot.